welcome along and welcome to this brand new series here on Court Farm Country Park. We are going to be doing start from scratch. This is why we're down at the shop, because we're going to have to get some equipment before we start. We're going to get ourselves a farm and a field and start building up. This is going to last around about 24 episodes, and we're going to be doing single day months. So we're going to be squeezing a little bit more into each episode than I have in the past. Let's get cracking. And the first thing I want to do is pop into the shop, and we actually have something really cool to start us off here in the used vehicle sales. A choice of 2 tractors to get us started. Choosing between these 2 tractors has been very, very hard. We got the Fendt 800 500 Turbo Shift for just 45,000. It's a really good price. We can get this up to over 200 horsepower with just a raise to £60,000. I want to put a right beacon light on it. Standard mirrors, no warning signs. Front PTO, I think, would be very useful. We're not going to put the Izaria or the GPS on it, although I think eventually that would be very useful. But otherwise, I think that's a fairly good setup. So 63,725. The biggest issue it has is it has no front loader attachment. If we compare this to the McCormick, though, so the McCormick starts off at 190 horsepower. So to get that to the same horsepower, 225, raises its price to over 100,000, which kind of throws it out of my price range. This does have a front loader attacher, which would be useful to me, but I think I've got a different solution to that. The price is very high. Not for a 200 horsepower tractor, but it is quite pricey. The other thing that is going for the Fendt over the McCormick is this only has 10.5 hours on it, and the McCormick has 28 hours on it. So I'm going to go with the Fendt. We're going to throw this up to 225 horsepower. I'm going to put some wide tires on it because we're going to be doing a lot of grass work with this. Beacon lights, I want to add a right beacon light because we're in the UK. Yes to the front PTO because I want to use a front mower on this. And the color, I quite like it in that blue. And rim color, we could go with the red. I think I'm going to put the red wheels with that blue on it. Looks absolutely perfect. License plate wise, we're going to go with VF01 as this is our first tractor. And then I'm going to go and find a name from my Patreon. So congratulations to Dan Madgin. You have been selected at random, and I'm going to put your first name on the end of the number plate for our first tractor. So we will okay that, and we will buy that tractor. And that is pretty perfect. Right, there we go. So we've got our first tractor. I now need some equipment to go with it. Mower-wise, I think that's what we might start with, is this setup here. At 70 plus 160, that is 230 horsepower. We are around about there with our horsepower anyway. So let's lease that for 688. And then we will lease this as well for 3,825. Yes, okay. Seeing as we're going with a Fendt tractor, I think we'll go with a Fendt baler as well. The Rotana 160 V Combi. This is the baler I want to get. I'm not going to go with the end turner on here. We will go with the green bales because I haven't really had many of those before. And I want to lease one of these as well. We'll leave Dan's number plate on this because it's going on our main tractor. Yes. The last thing I need, because we don't have a front loader, I think it would be really useful to have one of these Anderson stackers. So we're going to grab this as well. I'm going to put the Michelin tires on that, and we're going to lease that as well. So that will cost me 2,575. Yes, okay. That means that this is our initial setup. We've got our Fendt fabric tractor with a full set of mowers. We've got a Fendt baler, and we've got a bale stacker. This will allow us to do any silage bale contract that we want straight off the bat. It will also give us a really good start, or a remaining start, for our farm to get that as well. Where am I going to base my farm? And I think the only obvious choice for me is to go here at the main farm. We do have some grass fields around it. We've got this big grass field here, which I think we can plow up and reseed with more grass. We've got the sheep paddock here, which we will eventually get some sheep in, but at the moment I think we will leave as is. There's plenty of grass fields around here. In fact, how much is 106? 106 is only 59,000. I think we might buy this piece of grass with it as well to give us some more space to cut. That would be a good start for us, I think. Let's buy the main farm. Yes, please. And we will also buy this field here so that we're starting to expand the farm. 59,000 it is. Well, these are really difficult to get to, these ones. And all the other grass fields around here are actually quite expensive. Looking at this, our expected yield is quite low on here. I would love to buy this, but 185,000. I'm going to do something that I think we're going to end up doing on here a lot. I was hoping that I wasn't going to increase my loans so early, but I think this field here, field 40, is going to be very important for us to get started. So let's head into here. Let's take our money up to 185,000. We will then go and buy that field as well. Yes. And look at that yield potential. There we go. Let's get this back up to our farm then, and start getting some silage cut. That should give us enough money to start looking at getting a few animals. And I'm only going to get a few animals on here initially. What I want to do is get a few and breed as many animals over these 2 years as I can and build up from there. I think the other trick to us getting all of this working how we want is going to be getting a garden and getting some money in from that. This is all about really making as much money as quickly as we can. There's a nice chunky sound to this tractor. It's really deep and really powerful sounding, and I really kind of love it. I had not expected so much to be going Fendt on here. I did put it to my patrons and I went, oh, you know, which brands would you like me to focus on here? The one they went for majority was for Fendt and Massey, so I was very open to having a Massey tractor on here and a Massey setup with the new wrapper balers that came in a while ago. But I didn't really think that it was going to be Fendt. I thought I was going to go Massey Ferguson. I was open to the McCormick, and I did very much evaluate the McCormick based on the fact that it would have been a very useful tractor. Wow, look at how muddy we've got just going through a couple of puddles. But this just was the better choice. We got a lot more tractor for our money. I am definitely going to need to put in a pressure washer though. And wow, I hope this gets through all the gateways, because this is gonna be tight. Although for this to be tight is slightly worrying, because not much else would fit through here. There we go. Not like we've had a load of rain, but we are seeing a whole load of mud in these fields. Have we had a load of rain? Because this is so wet at the moment. We might have to leave it at the moment, because all of this mud is just going to mean that we get stuck on day one. Yeah, look at this. Oh, no, we just have... Oh, wow, we just have a really muddy entrance to the field is what that is. Right, so let's get out of the mud hole. Close the gate. Which does mean this map has the mud mod fully installed on it and fully set up. That is very, very cool. And something that actually wasn't listed in its original listing on the mod hub. So I'm slightly surprised by that, but certainly the mod does seem to be fully functional on here. We want to alter this so that we are creating swaths. We'll turn that on. We will unfold the front as well and turn that on. Let's see if this tractor also does the joint dropping. No, it doesn't look like it does. So lower that back down. Let's lower the rear ones down. And yep, let's get doing this. And look at that. This is why I got the crosscut. We're able to go round and create a swath straight away with cutting. This is going to speed things up no end. So it seems this does have the dual pickups. So if I go Control V at the end of this row, it'll pick the front up and then it should pick the back up. A little bit early picking the back up. I was going to say I want to get the headland bit done down here, but I've got a little bit of a section at the top end of the field here that just needs clearing up. And then I can get back into the main body of the field. The advantage of doing this is that we do it in about 2/3 of the time of if I'd actually put the mower on the front and the baler on the back. So it should work out to be a lot quicker doing this job this way. And this is what's going to fund our farm. Very early on, we are really going to be going hard on the silage and getting silage bales, both contracts and doing our own field. And this is why I need to get a roller for our farm as well. This field needs to be cut, baled, collected and rolled today in order to ensure that we are going to get the maximum out of our grass fields. This setup is pushing this tractor quite hard. It is about 5 horsepower short of what the required horsepower for running these 2 mowers together is. It struggles a little bit up the hills. Downhill, it's absolutely fine. And this will just be the hardest part that we have. And this tractor will be able to do everything we need to do. Repair level of this tractor is not bad. It's over 50%. So we won't have to go and spend any money repairing it for a little while. Over 200 horsepower seems to be a bit of a sweet spot for a first tractor, especially for one at this price. Getting this for 60,000, just over 60,000 with the wheel setup is really going to make a difference on the farm. As I said, the whole thing of not having a front loader on here isn't too awful. We can mitigate that early on until we can actually afford something that will give us a front loader or even a telehandler. What I'd really like, I think, is to have a telehandler on here because I don't do it very often, and basically to run my animal setup with the telehandler. And I do have my eye on a telehandler, but it kind of depends on what appears in the shop as to whether I'll be able to get that. It really kind of depends on what turns up in the sales. We are going to be keeping a very close eye on those and hopefully be getting some good bargains like this. Where am I going to put this? Which shed can I use to put these in? How about that one there? Will it go under? Yes. Okay, so we can put our very dirty mowers because of all that mud on the entrance to our field over here. Touch the hoses. I do love how tight this yard is. As I said in my first look, my only disappointment is that I can't reconfigure things. I'm not that interested in doing horses on here, and as a result, I've got a horse paddock that's sitting well in my way that isn't going to earn any money and I can't do anything with. I'd much rather do something like put a garden or something like that there. Not much I can do about that. We are going to use all the animals because I have all the animals. But as I said, we're not going to get a huge number of any of them. Basically, 1 trailer's worth. With the mowing done, we need to start getting this grass baled and wrapped. Fent baler on a Fent tractor. I've been wanting to use these balers for a while. It's not quite as efficient as using a fast bale because you still need to stop to unload the bale, I believe. But they're still really, really nice balers. The straight up baling and wrapping is something that will save us so much time And as I said, we need to get this field baled and collected and rolled today. Oh, this mud is wonderful. I love this. Causes so many issues and messes things up so much straight away. Right, let's start this up. Pop it down. And start creating some bales. One thing I like about this baler is the fact that I can go up to 150 centimeter bales. Now, my first 3 bales off this field I've actually done at the smaller size, and we're now doing the 150s. It means we can go a little bit longer, and as a result, we'll also have fewer bales to pick off the field. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a front loader fairly quickly. I can always borrow the money to do it. I'm trying not to borrow much money on here. The fact that just to get started, we've had to borrow an extra 50-odd thousand to get this field is a little bit annoying to me. At the end of the day, that's kind of how things go. We'll try and get that paid back as quickly as we can. My aim is to try and get this field cut 4 times a year. That's why we need to get it rolled, because that will set it forward a growth stage, because we are using precision farming on here. Moving it forward a growth stage, we end up with the maximum number of cuts we can a year, which of course is 4. It's maximizing this silage as much as we can. The more silage bales we can make, the more money we'll make, the easier things will be on here. I don't want to do silage all the time. So second episode, we won't be doing silage on here. We will probably be trying to take on a contract and seeing if we can actually get some sorghum or some wheat or something to feed chickens. We're gonna need to do several different types of contracts, because we're also going to need to get things like potatoes or sugar beet to feed the pigs, and we're gonna need wheat, and we're gonna need canola, and we're gonna need probably sorghum, and we're not going to be able to initially get that from our own farm. So we are going to need to do a bit of contracting, certainly, as we go into the winter. It's going to be a busy few months getting things set up, but I think ultimately we're going to have a really, really good and profitable farm here. It'll take a little bit of hard work, and we might end up skipping some of the winter if there's not much for us to do during it. But I'm quite hopeful of how we're going to do on here. Doing alternate roads like this really pays off. It makes it so much easier to turn really quickly and just keep going. We are so many bales into this field. This is going to make us a whole pile of money. I said this earlier, we're going to need to harvest this field multiple times a year, and I only need 1 grass field to do this with. We'll be able to have lots of other fields that start getting stuff going with, especially if we can earn a decent amount of money off here. If we make 40,000 off these bales, we're going to get a second cut in before the end of the year at least. That will mean we end up with enough to buy another field before the springtime and get that planted. We're almost done here. I've got the little bit left on this row, plus that little bit up the top to bale. I am intrigued as to exactly how many bales we have. I don't know whether it's more than 1 trailer. If it's more than 1 trailer's worth, that's going to be really good. That is going to make us an absolute ton of money. How many bales do we have on here? Let's check the bale counter. 46. That is a massive number of bales. How many does our bale stacker hold? 24. So yeah, that is just shy of 2 full bale stackers. That's absolutely brilliant. What a start. So let's park this up in this shed as well. When we eventually get a combine on here, I'm going to have to be very careful what size it is, because we don't really have many double gateways. Let's drop that off there. I think we might have to find somewhere else to put our equipment, because that is a little bit tight in there. We'll see how we go. Right, back down to the shop. Let's go and grab our bale stacker. While we're down here, is there anything new in the sales? No, nothing new. That X drive is still kicking about. We're going to have to come back down here in a bit and get the roller. Oh, this is such a long trailer. This is going to be really interesting getting into that field. Oh, here we go. Time for the moment of truth. Can we get this long trailer through to our field? Really slowly in. Bring it round. The mud actually is not helping. It's causing... Oh, wow. This is tight. Right, take it wide and swing it in. Hug the side there and... Wait. Well, we've taken the gate post out, but we've made it through. Yeah, that's very tight. We're going to have to go through this a couple of times. Actually... We're going to have to go through this really often because we have a lot of bales to collect up. Last bale to collect for our first load. And I've noticed actually there's another entrance to the field and I'm going to give it a try. So it's down this bottom corner here. Again through a pile of mud, but there's a roadway. We've got a roadway that goes up here. And hopefully will lead us to a better, better gateway up the top. Well, it's muddy, but it is easier to get back into the yard. And we have a straight line through here to this gateway. So yeah, for getting this trailer in and out, that is definitely the better way to go. I need to find somewhere now for us to put these silage bales while we are... letting them ferment, and what better place than down the other side of the horse paddock maybe? Or yeah, that's flatter than everywhere else, so we'll take this over here and down by our picnic tables down here we can put these. So we'll bring this, we'll double check that we actually own this piece of land. Yeah, I think this is a piece of land we own right on the edge of our property, so perfect place for us to stack our silage bales. Let's unload here. And yeah, I think we'll have enough space here maybe to unload a second batch in front. If we're lucky. Close that down. Let's go and grab the second lot. Now, can I fit these on the front of here? Is there enough space here? Or should I just back them up to the hedge in the first place? That might have been the better choice here. But looks like we're actually going to fit them in, so that's not a massive problem. That is 40... well, if it was 46 that we had, that there must be 43 bales. I've just picked up the last 3 bales, the small ones off the field. We'll get these dropped off. In fact, I might drop the whole trailer off because it's gone 5:30 and we still have one job left to do today. We need to go and get a roller and roll that field. Otherwise, it's not going to be ready for us when we come to cut it again in a couple of months. So let's drop that off there. And let's head back down to the shop and grab ourselves a decent sized roller. So let's pop into here and see what we've got. So in grassland care, we've got, this Dalbo roller actually with 100 horsepower would be perfect for us to do. So configuration with a cedar or standard, we will go standard. We will lease that for 1,326. And that should allow us to turn things around quite quickly. Everything's taken a little bit longer today because we've had to pop down here to the shop on a regular basis to pick all of our equipment up. We are going to not have this issue. We'll be able to pick it up just from the farm next time. So I'm expecting this job to easily get done within a day. And we're going to find out in a couple of days exactly how much doing this field, cutting this field 4 times a year should bring us in. At the moment, this feels like a really strong start though, and I couldn't be happier. A, with this tractor, it's worked really, really well, but B, with how much we've got done on this field. As I said, I do need to get it rolled and finished off, but it is just doing Oh, this is going to work so much better once we're not having to run down to the shop every 5 minutes. We'll get all the lights on. We will drop the roller down. And I'm just going to go and spend my evening rolling this field in. Because we want to be able to do this every couple of months and make a really good amount of money from doing it. I had a nice breakfast of donuts here, and we'll just come over to the table here and go and have a look at what contracts are available for today. Now, ideally, we want to get a good spread of harvest. We want to get some wheat, some canola, and some sorghum, which will be great for feeding the pigs. We could also do with doing some sugar beet or some potatoes, but I think we can leave that for a little bit later. So let's have a look at what harvesting contracts we've got here. 5,300 there. That is for potatoes. We're not going to do that quite yet. I want to take one with a combine for the next 2 days. Sorghum in field 92 for 3,800. I think that actually goes up to 5,000. Yeah. So we want to do that one, but that has 611 on its cost. That has a much smaller combine, but is wheat, and those seem to be fairly thin on the ground at the moment. We've got a good canola contract there, which is 655 to lease the equipment versus 611. I think we probably... Oh, also, I don't know if that tractor actually works as a carting tractor. So we want to probably actually go with this one with the slightly larger combine and only 611. So we will borrow the items for that. We will also take this sorghum contract. So we will accept that one. And then finally, I think we're going to have to take the field 1 wheat contract. Even though it's not very big, it's the only wheat contract out there. And we are going to need some of that. So let's accept that contract as well. So 92 is there. Field 1 is down there. And then 120 down the side there. So really spread out contracts. We'll start off going to field 1. We'll go to 120 and then we'll go to 92. So let's head down to the shop and go and collect the equipment. So something I originally brought up in my review of the map. This is not a very large spawning area for the equipment. So you can see in our contract, the combine has taken up this whole space here. And it's taken me a couple of minutes just to find where the equipment is. So if you get a lot of equipment or you take a contract on here, the excess overflow is right back here. So you'll find everything back here. Let's get the combine loaded up first. We need to get the header onto the header trailer, and the header trailer is the wrong way round. Also, it looks like the shop hasn't opened yet. So while we've got an early start, yeah, the gate is not currently open. So we might have to wait a little while. I'm guessing it's going to be at least 8, if not 8:30 before the shop opens. After a little bit of driving around and maneuvering, I've actually got it to a place where I can load the header up. Take you a little bit of time to do this. We should be fine. And there we go. So shop opens at 8 a.m. on here. Get this all together. I'm hoping that's going to slide into place, or at least lock, which it has. So I'm going to head down. We're going to go and do field 120 first, because that is the one, well, we can't do field 92, so 120 is the other one that's on the other side of our circle, and we'll go and get that started. Get the feeling from driving this combine around this map that you don't want anything bigger than this. I mean, getting in these gateways and just sort of generally maneuvering along the roads, anything bigger than this is going to give you a problem. Especially, look at this. So I've got to get this in this gateway. How am I going to achieve that? We've got fences all the way along here. There's no bigger entrance Well, there's some hedge here that I could drive through, but we're not looking to do that. I need to somehow get this combine and its header trailer in this gateway. I think this might take, oh wow, a bit of maneuvering. Getting the combine in itself, I don't think will be a huge problem. We can maneuver around. It's the trailer coming through as well. The gate also opens in a direction that is really opposite the way you'd want it to open into this field. Yeah, that's not, I'm not close enough to that edge. Right, let's try and, okay, we've got the combine in. That header trailer is not coming round though. That is going to be a problem to get that in, I think. We might have to back this out and maneuver things a little more. I think this is going to be a case of suspending a little bit of realism and going through the hedge because, yeah, that's never going to be straight enough to get that in the field. Okay, we're in. And, yeah, just don't ask me how. What I'm going to do is park the header trailer down the side of the field here. Hopefully out of the way of any harvesting I want to do. But I don't want to muck around too much today. We had a lot of mucking around yesterday, sort of getting equipment to places. And today I want to get into this much quicker. We can do 3 fields nice and quickly. That would be good. I'm having to drive through a lot of crop here. This isn't mine, obviously. If this was my field, I would be destroying stuff. Let's start up the header, start up the thresher, and down, and away we go. We need to get this harvested as quickly as possible, and this is the canola. This should get us some money in, and then we can start moving a little bit faster today. This is my first straight edge along here, so let's turn on the GPS. We'll set our first point, set our second, and has that worked? Yes, although that is not the right course. So snap terrain angle is on. We want to turn that off because that gives us a lot more freedom. Set our first waypoint. 15 meters should be to the end of the field. Yes, there we go. Looking at this field, we need to deliver 19,500 liters of canola. It's gonna be more than a tank. I was expecting actually it not quite to be as much, considering that we are already 35% of the way through the field. I don't know if there's actually enough canola here to complete this contract. With 19,500 off here, that does mean that it's gonna require 2 full tanks off this combine. This combine holds just about 10,000 liters. Combine is full, and I've had to run all the way back to the shop to get the Kubota because we've got no money at the moment, and therefore we can't put follow me on. It does mean that the tractor got left behind. Thankfully, after we complete this contract, that's not going to be an issue. We should be able... Can I squeeze this around here? Oh, no. Yeah, this gate is awful. Oh, I have the manual discharge mod on here, so I don't know if this will automatically start unloading or whether the combine doesn't have it on. Nope, looks like... Oh, the combine stopped anyway. Nope, so the manual discharge mod is not activated on this combine. So contracting combines don't seem to get that. We've got a full tank off a headland and 2/3 roughly. And that's gonna give us a good amount in the trailer. How much did that combine hold? 9,300 liters. So yeah, that is actually not enough with 2 full tanks to get the amount we need. It's going to be more than 2 full tanks off this combine to complete the contract. So yeah, I am definitely expecting another full tank off here. Headland's done. And now I want to cut in. So we'll turn the lines on. Oh wow, we do not have many rows left to go on this field. So I'm going to cut in here, I think. Line that up. And set that on because, yeah, there's about 4 rows left on this field. We are nearly full again, so we'll get the auger out. And I think we're actually going to be full fairly near to our tractor and trailer, which is great. There is not a lot of field left, though. Really not a lot of field left. I don't think we're going to have a sizable amount of canola left over from here once we finish the contract. That's our combine empty for the second time. Let's have a look. 18,600. And yeah, we've got a little bit of space left. I have a feeling that this trailer is gonna hold pretty much exactly what we need to complete this contract. B, it's not going to hold everything off this field at this point. That means we're going to have to travel with the combine to the next field with crop in it. We've got just a couple of little bits to clear up on the field and then we're done. Coming up to 20 to 12. I'm concerned that we're going to get through all 3 of these contracts today. We need to get through all 3 of these contracts today. Get in a decent amount of money to make it through to the next day. At some point, we're going to have to purchase a telehandler and a bale trailer. So we need to build up our funds for that at the moment. I am keeping an eye on what's in the shop and just hoping that maybe we'll get lucky and something will come up. Another 2,000 litres we got in the combine. I don't think that's all going to fit in this trailer. This trailer does not have a lot of space left. 1,265 left. If this is 19,500, this trailer is exactly the amount we need to deliver to complete this contract. That means we have 1,261 litres. That's more than I expected, and actually that's enough to get the pigs started. Quite nicely, this needs to be dropped off at Longmeadow Stores, which is just here. I'm slightly concerned that we have rain forecast. Don't know when that's going to hit. Why is that not showing me the tip icon? Oh, because that's a Bale sell point. Somebody did point that out in my first look video, that all the sell points have the grates rather than the yellow hatchings, which can be a little bit misleading like that, unfortunately. Yes, that is completing the contract. I think we'll make a little bit of money, not much, off this because it is slightly more than we need by 100 litres. Yep. Wow. That is great. Oh, but we need to look at that. We need to sort out our environmental score. We are at minus £13 for that. And that is because we haven't scanned our field or done any work on it. Let's meet up with our combine, which I've managed to get out of the field and onto the road. It does still have, of course, a load of canola in it. So we'll have to empty that out when we make it to the next field. But I should now be able to come to here and just complete this contract. Yeah, completed. So there we are. And collect. Perfect. That's 3,378. Puts us back in the black. And now we can have follow me on and move on to the next field. This combine barely fits down some of these streets. This is not a map if you want to have large equipment on at all. for this is the low end of a medium-sized combine, and I am struggling to get it down some of these roads. We have another nice gateway. Again, it's opening in such a way that me to get my combine in this, I needed to come at it at least from the other direction. There is no way I'm going to do it without going through the hedge again, one way or the other. So, through the magic of an edit, we are in the field and in a position where we can drop the trailer off like that. Yeah, our tractor and trailer is fine there, but we'll stop the hired worker. I'm kind of glad that I've got the farm I have with the access to the fields I have. When we eventually do get our own harvester and our own crops going, that is going to be much, much easier. What I do need to do before we start on this field, of course, is get rid of the rest of the canola that we've got in here. Empty that out. And then we can crack on with this field, which is not a very big field. Before I can go any further, I do need to get this canola into the pig feed. Very tight in here. This is why I need a telehandler, so that I can maneuver in here a little bit better. And that means that when the pigs eventually come in here, we will have some feed for them straight off. This is why I want to do a potato contract or a sugar beet contract as well, because we need all 4 elements of the pig feed. I don't know what rabbits eat, so we'll have to have a look at that as well. Just about been around the field twice with the combine, and we are only 92% full. I don't really want to start cutting that full though, so what we'll do is we'll bring the combine around to here, give ourselves a little bit of space, put the auger out and unload it before we do the cutting. I am wondering exactly how much we need to deliver for this field though, because I don't think it's gonna be as much as we had for the last one. Yeah, it's only 15,800 liters, so I don't think we're gonna end up with quite as much. Where has this got to go? Oh, this has got to go to the garden center at the very far side of the map. We're gonna have to be very careful about how much we put in the trailer and how much we go and tip. And the garden center is so far away from this field. If we're lucky, this row here might give us the amount we need in order to finish the contract. We'll empty this out. In fact, yeah, this is going to be pretty much perfect, I think. We need 15,900. This is 6,239. We have 8,560. That might be enough. That might just do it. We can go and empty this down at the garden center. And then we'll harvest the rest of this field. Then go and empty this down at the garden center. And that way we can have enough to give a little bit more feed to the pigs and some feed to the chickens. It's not enough. We need 15,800 and we got 14,800. Right, let's grab another 1,000 liters. Okay, we got 950, 60, 70, 80, 90. There we go. 1,002 liters. So if we put that in our trailer and go and tip that, that should do the trick. And then whatever we have left on this field, that is what we have for our own animals. And the answer, how much do we have for our own animals, is 1,120 liters, almost exactly as much as we had on the last field. Finally, we've made it up here. It is 25 to 4. I'm hoping that we can get our last field done today. This will complete this contract. Now that that's done, we're going to meet the combine down at field 92 for our final field today, the sorghum. These roads are definitely not designed for this combine. They've had so much fun trying to get down here. And, oh, again, we've got another gateway. that I'm approaching from the left-hand side and just seems to block my entrance to the field more than it allows for it. Yeah, again, I'm not going to get around there. There's no way. So again, through the magic of the edit, we are into the field and lined up on our trailer. Let's connect the header up. Put the I'll put the PTO on. There we go. And then I'm just going to back us off and put the auger out so that we can empty out the last of the wheat from the previous field. And we're going to have to back the tractor and trailer up along the road in order to do it. So let's get it into position. Can I get it enough over? Yeah, there we go. And that's in. Not a huge amount to go into this, though. Yeah, only... Oh, it's because we're right on the edge. There we are. 1,120 litres. Let's tip this, and then we can get stuck into the sorghum. I think I'll put all of this into the pigs. We can then feed the chickens with the sorghum. Because actually, I don't think, base game, I don't think pigs take sorghum. So yeah, we'll feed the chickens with the sorghum, and we will feed the pigs with the wheat. That way, we're going to have a nice balanced setup. One thing we do need is corn. We have no corn yet at all. I might try and address that with a garden at some point. However, right now, we've got the wheat in, and we are going to go and head back and get the sorghum done. Well, actually, it's 5 to 5, and we're going to be going into the evening, I think, if we do that. So we're headed back down to field 92. We've got the sorghum left over from yesterday. This hopefully will give us about 1,000 litres in the same way as the 2 contracts that we did with the harvester yesterday did. And then there is a couple of potato contracts that are kicking around that we can have a go at. We are getting ever closer to the time when we should be able to get the animals. We need next month to go and cut some more silage. We're looking to do that roughly every 3 months. Our field should have recovered enough to do that. In fact, we can probably cut it earlier. Let's see if we can actually... Oh, I don't want to squeeze this in through the gateway at the moment. We'll leave the tractor there. We'll close the gate. There we are. And... should be able to get that harvested without too much trouble. Combine is here and set up. If I can get around to here quick enough, we should be able to turn around and go and grab a field of potatoes. There's a couple of them that are available. So yeah, we should be able to get potatoes done today as well if we can knock this out fairly quickly. There are 2 potato contracts, and we'll go through those in a minute. One of them would earn us far more, but obviously take a little bit longer. So let's crack on with this and see how long this takes us. And then we should know after that whether we can take on the larger potato contract or the smaller one. We need to deliver around 3 full tanks of the combine today in order to complete this contract. We're up to 70% already as we come up to the end of the first headland. So that's actually really promising. I think we're going to end up with quite a good level of crop from here. We are 20% of the way through the contract, though, at the point where we're coming up to the end of the first headland, which gives us the combination we're looking for, really. A nice, quick contract that should also produce quite a nice amount of crop. So let's bring this up alongside, get this emptied out. I am slightly worried in that while we got bright skies now, we have got rain on the way. And while we can harvest in the rain, it's going to make the fields really muddy. And we're heading for a middle of the day that is just absolutely soaking. We need to get this sorghum up now, otherwise we're not going to be able to do it. That would put a big crimp in our plans. I think the potatoes are going to be a hard slog, because those fields are going to get really muddy as we're trying to do that job. Up to 45% of the way through the contract and going fairly well. With the rain coming though at 10 o'clock, time is creeping forwards, and I'm very, very concerned that it's gonna hit before we get this field finished. So that's worrying me quite a bit at the moment. We are up to 90% full on the combine. I have noticed we are at a lesser deficit today than we were the previous day. So we managed to earn enough from contracts last time to keep us afloat rather nicely. We'll make a decent amount off this contract. In fact, I did have an active contract, but it looks like it's disappeared. So I don't quite know. I think I'm going to have to go back and check that. Oh, combine's full. But we had an active contract, and it looks like it just disappeared off there. I don't think we got paid for one of our contracts. Underneath the auger again, and empty this out. And 2 full combines worth on here. I think that will almost fill our trailer. This will take us up to just under 20,000, which gets us a third of what we need to deliver. What I really want to do, though, I think, is continue with the combine, get the combine full again. We can empty out whatever we have left into here. So that will be 18,600. This is 94% full. Let's get a full trailer and a full combine, and that will help mitigate any rain that we have coming. And here comes the rain. I think we're gonna have to stop harvesting. So stop that here. We will open up the auger, turn off the rest of the combine, and yeah, this is bad. If this sets in for as long today as we're expecting, we could end up with not being able to complete this sorghum. I think what we'll do is we're going to go and grab the smaller of the potato contracts. See if we can actually work that while the rain is falling. Hopefully the mud won't be too bad, and we'll be able to actually get that potato contract done. But trying to be realistic, I would not be harvesting in this weather. So we'll unload what is on the combine, put the cover on, and we'll head up and go and get this tipped, and then go and see if we can get on with the potatoes. So I went back and checked, and yes, I do have a Field 1 harvesting contract that was completed and should give me 1,981. So we will add that in and get that. So collect, and then we should have a little bit of money in the bank, which is perfect. Yeah, I think the interesting thing there is if you complete a contract, don't save your game and go out and go on to the next day. Make sure that you redeem it as quickly as you can, because otherwise sometimes they have a habit of disappearing and you get left out of pocket, which is not ideal when you're trying to do contracts in order to just survive in something like a start from scratch game. This is going to get us 2/3 of the way to completing this contract. Hopefully there'll be a nice little bit of dry weather later on. This is going to send us to about 70 to 80% done on this contract. In fact, there we go. 62% transported and 70% of the contract done. With our current contract rained off, let's pick up this potato contract. So that should be, well, I'm thinking with the amount of time we've got and what we need to do, taking the slightly smaller one is probably the way to go. The bigger one is worth nearly 6 grand. Actually, for double the it's not double the time, and we should have enough time left today. Let's put the details on. Nearly 7,000 for that one, so that's going to give us a whole load more potatoes from that, but we are going to be struggling against the weather for it. Field 82 and field 21, where are they from us? So field 82 is this one down. We've got 84 there. 82 is that one there. Field 21 is the bigger one, which is probably going to be more accessible. 21 is that one down there. That is actually really accessible from our shop and probably is going to be the better one to try and do, looking at the size of it. Right, so yeah, I am going to have a crack at the bigger contract. It might go into tomorrow, but we'll borrow the items for that. And we might end up having to get our own tractor up here to finish things off. This Massey Ferguson 8S should be more than capable, though, of running this harvester. The care wheels, though, in the mud is going to be almost impossible, I think. Let's head up to the field, see how bad things are going to be for us trying to do this, and then come back for the tractor, that Volvo BM tractor, and the trailers after we see what the situation is. This is where we're going to need to deliver the potatoes to, so that should be fairly easy. Not very far along here from the field for the delivery. And the field we're harvesting is just over here on the right. Where is the gateway into it, though? Is that down the side of where we've just come past, or is there one in this bottom corner? Looks like there's one in this bottom corner here, and actually looks like a fairly accessible gateway. Although, just trying to turn in with the rear steering on this potato harvester, I've caught the gate on the other side of the road and the tree. Finally managed to maneuver myself round and in. The cars behind me on the road didn't help, and we already have a massive amount of mud as we come into the field. Let's turn the front of this on, drop it down, and nope, I am sunk into the mud. I'm not going anywhere. Gonna have to try dropping the bit off the back, I think, and see if that gives us enough traction. Yeah, it does. So the issue very much is I need to find a little bit more stable ground to get the harvester. Let's see if that is close enough to our harvester. Hook that up. No, I think the harvester might have ground out. That is not good news. Okay, I've got it on a little bit more stable ground. Managed to come at it at a slightly different angle. And it's got us into the field. So let's drop the front down. And no. Well, at least I got the harvester off the road. Let's go do some topping. And hopefully, by the time we've finished doing this job, we should be able to get the harvester moving. But yeah, the mud is bad. Despite the amount we're sinking in while I'm doing this topping, the potatoes thankfully are unscathed. We kind of need to do that because of the amount of time that we have available to do this job is minimal. And so with the rain still kicking about and still being really persistent, taking all the tops off these potatoes is just going to be massively useful. I don't quite get the use of the toppers on here. They don't make a lot of sense to me. The way they work is they sit in front of the tractor and take the tops off the potatoes. But the actual potato harvesters themselves that come with the game, those are side-loading ones. So they never follow directly behind the topper. It works fairly well with the sugar beet, which does have a harvester that trails directly behind the tractor. But yeah, the base game potato harvesters I'm not really a fan of. I think they need a bit of work, and they're not quite fit for purpose. I'd rather have something like a GT 170 or something like that in game that does follow behind the tractor. What I'm going to do is now start going up and down rows. We've done enough of a headlands to do this, so maybe it's time to set a GPS course for this. And there we go. Now we're cooking with GPS. When I can get the harvester into the field, this will speed things up. And the fact that we're able to top at a fair rate is really useful, but it's not great that I can't actually get the harvester in here and get harvesting at the moment. It is quite a muddy quagmire, but we are doing all right. I'm not sure this is the most realistic way of doing this though, but we are in a position where I absolutely need to do it this way, or we're gonna find that we just can't get the stuff done in the time we need to, especially knowing that tomorrow we need to do our next set of silage bales, because if we don't do those tomorrow, we won't get another set done this year, and those are massively important to the health of the farm, far more than any of these contracts we're doing. So abandoning these contracts might be what we have to do in order to get those done. Let's get the lines back off. But I want to get this up, and I want to get some potatoes in, because the more I can feed, or more feed I can get in for our pigs when they arrive come December or January, the better off we are going to be. Presuming we have enough money next game day, we should be able to set our silage work going, actually, with course playing and a hired worker for the first time. That will pay off in spades. We know that we can afford to run that by that, so long as we have a little bit of money in the bank. So it's very possible that not being able to actually get in here and get any potatoes today, we might be okay. We might actually be able to survive and get the potatoes here harvested at this time. It is annoying that we might have to actually spend money just to make sure that we get these in. This is not the plan. We originally wanted to do this so that we can save ourselves a little bit of money on pig food, and yeah, it looks like that's not going to be the case. But that's the way it goes sometimes in farming. Sometimes you get the rain, and sometimes you get the sunshine. Last couple of rows, and I need to be on my track, so right, there we are. That will do it. So yeah, just a little bit left. Last couple of rows, and we should be able to get back to the entrance to the field. The rain is clearing, or will be clearing soon. I think we've probably got another hour of it. It'll take a little while for things to dry off. So I might be able to get the combine to finish off. This field, though, now empty of tops. I wonder if we can drag the harvester onto here. Let's see if there's some way we can pull this grounded harvester onto the field. Trouble is, I'm fighting the mud with a heavy harvester, and you can see that it's already fairly low, and I think it's just grounding out. Oh no, there we are. Oh wow, we might actually be able to start this. So let's unfold the harvester. Well, let's connect everything up. Right, then unfold the harvester. And I think we're going to have to turn around and go the other way. I'm hoping... Oh, wow. It's not going to destroy... No, that is now not moving. The best use of this time for me then, I think, is to pop around the back here, find my trailers that we need to cart the potatoes and get those hooked up to my Volvo tractor here. Connect that and that. Perfect. Oh, such a classic tractor to be doing this job with. I am actually slightly worried about doing this job with this tractor. It's having trouble pulling these trailers up this hill. It's got a fair whack of horsepower, this tractor, but it is, yeah, if it's struggling with these trailers without any cargo on them at all, is it going to have a trouble once we get the potatoes? Are we going to have to take the Massey off the potato harvester to go and deliver potatoes? My harvester is blocking the entrance to the field, so I don't think I can get these in. I might be able to just squeeze down the sides. That is, if the mud doesn't stop me. Nope, we're good. We're in. And we've got it down the side here, although the Volvo and the trailers are now really mucky. The rain has finally stopped and I'm back onto the sorghum, but it is 4:15 in the afternoon and we still have a fair amount of mud being kicked up by the combine. And in fact, the combine is slightly off its previous course. So I'm going to have to do a very careful reverse here and just get it onto the course again. There we go. But yeah, we are sliding about a bit, but I should be able to get this finished today. And then with any luck, we'll be on to the potatoes tomorrow. And we'll run the potatoes and the silage side by side. And that way, we should be able to get both jobs done. This is going to fund doing that, though. So up to the end here, we only need just over 10,000 litres more, I think. Yep, we need 11,700 litres more of this sorghum. So we'll get that harvested and then we'll go and get that tipped and hopefully get this field finished off today. At this time of year, it tends to get dark really early, and of course that shortens the amount of time we have to work on the farm. We've got another 9,300 litres coming off this. As I said, we need 11,700 litres to complete this. So that means we need 2,400 litres from our combine in order to get this contract completed. And so that should be enough to do it. 2,419 litres is a little bit over. Let's get our auger out and go and grab the tractor and trailer. It gets dark so quickly. I mean, this is only 5:10 and yeah, it's almost pitch black. I've got my flashlight on and moving around here. We are gonna just harvest the remains of the sorghum here, get this up, and then we'll go and tip down at the sell point to complete this. And we will get this contract claimed tonight before we finish. And then that means next time we'll have the potatoes to get done, and we will have the second cut of silage to do. We'll do the second cut of silage using courseplay and get that running that way. That should work out fairly well for us. We'll just have to be a little bit careful as to exactly how we get that cut. I think we'll probably get it to do the middle of the field first, and that way we can get it to bale the middle of the field first before it does the headlands. And yeah, that should work best for making sure that it doesn't hit any of its own bales. Last little bit of sorghum. Looks like we're going to have a very small amount to the left of the combine, so we'll just Get that snapped up. And, oh, wow. This is going to be 2,200 liters, maybe? No, 2,133, 34 liters for us to take to our own. Oh, let's turn that off. To take and feed to our own chickens, because, of course, the pigs won't take this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here. I'm just going to put that in so we don't accidentally top up the tractor as we go past. Let's go tip this, complete the contract, and then we'll take whatever's left in that combine, that 2,132 liters, back to our farm. Tip this up, and this will complete the contract. We just need to go and grab the little bit of sorghum that is sitting in the combine still. Contract complete. 737 pound on top is not bad at all. And now we just need to go and empty the combine, and we can get this contract, get the money for this contract, and get some feed for the chickens. So the auger is already out, and we should, yeah, we can do a drive-by unloading. I want to turn the combine off though as soon as it's done. And so we want to get this tipped into the chicken feeding trough, which I think is this trough here. Let's back this up. Oh, dolly trailer backing up is always fun. Pity we don't have this tractor for the sugar beet contract. I still think we're going to struggle a bit with that Volvo. We'll have to see how things go. Bring this round. Much easier doing this actually in cab, but this should back up to here like so. Tip that, give some feed for our chickens when we get them in a couple of months, and yeah, that will save us a load of money. In fact, wow, it only took a very little, took about 1,000 liters. So what I'm going to do, we have a store around the back here. We're going to put the rest of this sorghum in this store so that I can maybe find somewhere to use it later. So yeah, overload that into there, and that then actually gives us a little bit extra feed for our chickens when we need it. Turn that off, and we will complete that contract. So field 92 sorghum, let's collect that. 3,268. That's really good. That puts us into such a strong position going into the next game day. I couldn't be happy with that. I mean, I would like to have got some way into the potatoes today, but seems that that wasn't to be. So we'll head back to the house. And, yeah, into the light. Hopefully. I'm hoping I've got some... Yeah, here we go. Light switch. Or not. Oh, well. We'll go into the kitchen. I would, yeah, be nice to turn the lights on in the house. And we're going to start off today with getting our mowers set up to get the grass work going. I need to get out onto the field and run this with courseplay. We do have £1,629 to start off with, so that's a really good start. But if we could run all this by courseplay, we can basically get 2 jobs done at once and make sure that we get our cut that we need to do today done before winter comes in and the grass isn't there. And that is then 2 complete cuts on our field. Will make a massive difference. Our first set of silage has now fermented, so we should be able to get that sold next time. And in fact, I think there's a trailer down at the shop that we might have to borrow a little bit of money to get. That should be perfect for us as well. I'm going to ignore going that way because it's just so much more hassle. and we'll continue on down this road here and enter at the field at the bottom. This makes things so much easier, and I wish I'd found this on day one. But we found it now, and it's all good. And yeah, this is based on that. I want to get these two fields. Field 56 behind me and field 53. I think both of those would be good fields to have. Right, let's get into here then and see if we can set up a course course. Now, I want to set this to do a couple of headlands, but I want it to do the edges first. So the center first, and we're going to do smooth in the corners. That way, with any luck, this should go pretty well for that. Up and down, I want longest edge, which should give me that edge there, I'm hoping, and generate me a fieldwork course. That's not bad, but that's only 3 meters. Our butterfly mowers are bigger than that. How big are our butterfly mowers? Let's have a look. 10 meters. So we need to make sure that we've got 10 meters on that, not 3 meters. So we'll up this to 10 meters here. I can't click. Oh, I can. 10. Perfect. Right, so that's 10 meters. We will generate that again, and that looks much better. Wow. So that's going to start at the far side of the field. So we'll head out there and get this going. I'm kind of glad that there's not really any kind of hourly amount of money that we're spending on anything. It allows us to get courseplay going, and hopefully we won't hit too many snags. Right, this is doing this is still doing the swathing, which is exactly what we want. We want first waypoint and start that there, and get it onto the blue so we can see where it's going. Whoa! Oh no! It repaired the tractor. Well, having mistakenly repaired the tractor because I forgot to turn that function off with the hired workers, we're going to have to get cracking on the potatoes and get this finished as quickly as possible now in order to get that cut done today. So let's unfold our harvester. That is actually a really disappointing start. That has immediately thrown us into trouble. So as quickly as we can get these potatoes harvested now is what we're going to get money in. And this contract actually is worth a fair whack of money. It's going to really make a difference. I don't want to be borrowing money to do things like that. If we get to midday though, in fact, no, I did say I don't want to be borrowing money to do bits like that, but we won't get everything done on that grass field if we don't get that running now. So I'm going to get the first tank of this done, and then I think we'll go back and we'll borrow a bit of cash, get that mower going, and maybe go and pick something up from the shop, because there is something that has come on offer this morning that will probably help us to get all of this work. Well, will help us make some money next month, certainly. I am definitely not a fan of these side loading harvesters. It is tiny width that it picks up, and yeah, they take forever, and they're really unwieldy as well. They're such a pain to operate. And as I was saying last time, you can't top with them either. So you're always topping far less than the topper can do. And it's always off to the side. So, yeah, not a fan of these. We have managed to get 80%, 90% full. So we're going to get the rest of this filled up. And then hopefully I'm going to have enough space, having done 2 headlands, to turn around and get the auger or the belt away from the crop, so that we're not having to drive onto the crop with our tractor and trailers. I'm still not convinced that that trailer is going to, that tractor is going to be able to pick up the, it's going to be able to pull these trailers. Right, auger out, or belt out. And empty this into the first trailer. 1,200 litres. I don't know if this trailer, well, yeah, this trailer might take 1,200 litres. That would mean that these two trailers would take 2 full loads off of here. But they are... Oh, there's going to be a lot of potatoes on here. We are already, though, apparently 20% of the way through this contract. How many litres do we need to deliver? 77,000 litres. So, yeah, this is going to be quite a lot of potatoes we're going to have to deliver. Thankfully, looks like it's not going to be that many trailers, because the trailer we've got holds more than the first tank of this. So that is really good news. But as I said before, we need to get this running. So what I'm going to do is come into here. We're going to borrow 5,000, take that up to 4,207 and set that off. Because, yeah, if I don't do that, that is going to mess a lot of stuff up. And now I'm feeling better. Which brings me back down to the shop, actually, because this has come up. This would be perfect for our farm. We can load this up with a whole load of silage bales and get them sold. So 11,252 we would need for that. Let's pop out and grab some of that. So we're going to borrow and take us up to the price we need. And then we can pick this up at the shop later. Yeah, I think this is a very good idea to have on the farm. We will easily pay for the 11,000 for having this. So buy that. Yes. Okay. Right. And then later down at the shop, we can go and pick those up. We just need to get this contract done now and hopefully get a bit more cash flowing in. And we still need a telehandler. We're going to have to lease a telehandler next game day to start loading up our bales. So yeah, the more we can earn from here today, the better off we'll be. Just checking up on the mowers, and I've had to stop them because 10 meters is ever so slightly too wide. And if it goes any more rows, it will be something I won't be able to correct. So let's go and correct this. We'll get up to full speed. We'll go back to our starting point, and I want to clear my current GPS off. This is not going very well on here. I was hoping to have a little bit better of a day with this, and this being an easy thing to do. Right, let's set up a new course again, and we're going to take it down to about 9 point... We'll take it to 9.6 and generate a fieldwork course. Right, so similar sort of size, hopefully similar sort of overlap. It's a little bit interesting. Oh no, that's not good. Right, let's try that again. What angle was that running at? Because getting that to cut at the same angle is crucially important. So there's our angle. The angle here is 156.6. We're going to go with 151. Okay. That's really annoying. Okay, back in here, open course generator. Longest edge, no. Manual, up down angle 156.6. 155 is what it's going to go for. All right, let's generate that and see if that works. So generate field work course. That's a bit better. That's a similar sort of angle. This is not going to end up nice, is it? Right, let's go. I have a feeling this is a mess we're going to have to clean up ourselves. Our harvester is almost full again, and then we can empty it out. We're going to see if the tractor and trailer can actually, or the tractor can actually move the trailer now that it's mostly full. So, belt up. And it seems to be moving okay. I was expecting it to be giving us a little bit more hassle. But the potatoes are unloading and the trailer should be full at the end of this. In fact, I think we'll go and uncover the rear trailer because I think any minute the front one is going to be full. Yeah, 18,500 in the front trailer, and then in the back trailer we're going to have a decent amount more, I think. There we go. That's empty. So let's leave it. Actually, we'll leave this tractor. Oh, I don't want to leave this tractor here, but I also don't want to reverse up this dolly trailer. Just need to reverse this all up just far enough that it's going to, yeah, get out of the way. There we go. With any luck, that'll be fine. Turn that off. And away we go again. We should be able to get one more load off here, and that's going to get us actually fairly high up with this contract. We are at 32% harvested so far. This should get us up to maybe 45%, which is, yeah, two unloads, 2 full loads off here has got this up to 33%. So half of that is about 16%. We're gonna be up to about 45 to nearly 50% harvested on this field. I've taken a few headlands out here now, and I'm gonna start going up and down the field, I think. See if we can make it easier to check this out. Now, I'm going across where the rows are, or across the actual ridges. That is because well, if I was to go with the ridges, it would take forever. But even having been around the headland 5 or 6 times, I still don't have that much space to turn around at the end of the field. It is slightly ridiculous, this machine. I'm not a huge fan of these potato harvesters. They really don't work for me. I'd much rather have a proper trail behind that goes behind the tractor, has a good 3-4 meter width, and does the potato harvest much more smoothly and much more easily. These side loaders I find massively irritating a lot of the time. We are 43% of the way through this field, and that is a full harvester again. Now, the harvester, I can drive over the potatoes like this. If I was doing, actually, I don't know if I was doing my own crop, whether the harvester itself would destroy crop. I know I've got the care wheels on the tractor, so I know that's not going to happen. But I think the care wheels, I don't know if the wheels on this harvester count as care wheels once you've chopped the top of the potatoes. We're 97% full with 36,000 litres. That is... okay, we'll go and tip this. 36,000 litres, so we'll end up with 72,000 litres in total. We need 77,000. So it's going to be just over 2 more full trailers, unfortunately. So not much I can do about that. Let's see, though, if this little Volvo can actually get this up the hill to the sell point we're going to drop these off at. We've got a big pile of mud in this corner. Straight through it, onto the road, and away we go. It's struggling a little bit up this hill, but I keep bouncing between 5th and 6th gear to try and get it up to the top. Looks like we've made it up, though, and our sell point is just up the road here and into Tool Tree Stores. Now, does this have to be delivered at the far end one? That seems to be where this is pointing at. So not the one there, but this one here. Yeah, this seems to be underneath it. So bring this in here and tip it. If it starts selling stuff rather than completing the contract. Nope, that is completing the contract. Perfect. And as expected, we've delivered 46% of the potatoes we need for this contract. So it's going to take 2 more trailers plus a little bit more in order to complete this. But I'm still surprised at how far through this contract we already are. Meanwhile, our mower is coming to the end of its job here down on field 54. So we want to pick this up and go and switch this out. Let's clear that course off. Start her up. And yeah, this is messy. It's nowhere near as nice as if we'd done it ourselves. Oh no, I've just cleared that course off. This is not going well. 9.6 meters, right, generate me a fieldwork course. It should be the same course. I hope. Yes, that is the same course. Good. Right, we can go and switch this out now. Yeah, because I need that course because that's the course we need to send our baler on. I could actually have made all this more self-sufficient today if I just put the front of the front mower on and the baler on behind and just left the tractor to it. That would probably have been the better way to go at the end of the day. But I suppose you live and learn, and next time that we want this tractor to go and do it like that, we'll do it that way. Because then that does mean it just gets the 3 meter setup and just makes everything easier. We don't have to worry about keeping the play course or anything. The whole thing can just run and do the baling without us worrying too much. And we spend less time then faffing about like this back and forth to the field, getting this to do it. It'll take longer for the baler to get through the field, but it will at least give us a better way of or a more hands-off approach. So first waypoint and on here and away you go. And it is going to miss some stuff, but that's not a huge problem because we can come and clear that up later. I've got into a little bit of a rhythm now with the potatoes, and yeah, we're working our way through the field. We're getting full less quickly, having cut in like this, as opposed to just continually filling the harvester as we go around the edge of the field. But we're not doing too badly at all. I'm quite happy with how things are going at the moment. We seem to have a larger headland at the far end of the field than we do at this end of the field. It's very, very much a smaller space that we have to turn around down here. But I am able to work it, and it seems to be going fairly well. Have I got my harvester down? No, I don't. Let's get that down and continue on. We are nearly 60% full, so we still have a long way to go, and time is ticking. It's got to 1:30, and yeah, I need to get, well, probably 4 full harvesters off here just to complete this contract. And this is my first full harvester. Have we got enough? I think we've got enough of the field left to get at least the 3 full harvesters we need to finish this. Got a little bit more than a trailer that we'll need to get off that. We'll need about another 5,000 liters, I think, on top of that. We'll carefully measure that out when it comes to it. This trailer, I'm intrigued to see how much this fills this trailer. So yeah, it's about 2/3. That's really interesting. I didn't think it was going to be that high, but I suppose if we can get 3 full harvesters into this, that kind of makes sense. Now that I've got into my rhythm on here, this actually has become a really relaxing job. A nice, easy up and down that allows me to just harvest the potatoes and work my way through the remainder of this field. Trying to keep on the same angle, so sort of the 90-degree angle, east-west. We're doing this field at, and yeah, we're slowly building up the harvester. It's gone 2:15. So progress is going well. I'm just hoping that my silage isn't messing up at the moment, because if it is, that's going to be a whole horrible mess to clean up. As it stands at the moment, we're good. And with the silage, we're actually fine, because if that, we don't need to roll that or anything today, because we are in a position where winter's coming, and it will grow naturally come the spring again quite nicely. So I'm not too worried about rolling that today. If I can roll it, I will, but that means getting all of those bales off the field, and I think that might be something that has to wait till next time. We should be able, though, to complete that baling today. So that will complete. We'll collect all of those up next time, and I don't think they'll quite ferment in time to catch the December sell-off. But we do need to get a telehandler and start getting the other bales sold off in December, because those will pay best. I think it is in December. Yeah, we have a large amount of silage. Wow, we've got 257 liters. January. Okay, so we should be good. We should be absolutely good. That's good news. I was expecting it to be a much worse situation than it is. Harvester is full again, and we'll fill this front trailer up and the dolly behind it. Probably not the best place for us to stop if we're going to be filling the dolly, but it should mean that we are ever so close to finishing this contract now. We just need one more trailer full plus a little bit, and that is gonna finish this off very nicely. Oh, I think there's enough space at the end of the field there for our harvester to get around, so that should be all good. And look at those neat rolls of bales. Despite the issues at the start and the fact that we have got some cleanup to do at the bottom of the field, this is still going strong and actually creating some nice lineups of bales along here. It's just gone past 3:30, and we're coming very close to another full harvester, with a decent amount actually of potatoes left on the field, which is really good. We're gonna go and empty this one and then find out exactly how much more we need to complete this field. I think it's only going to be a couple of thousand liters, so we'll be able to go and finish that off. Yeah, in fact, we are full, so we've got our unloading conveyor out. Let's see if we can scoot the back trailer underneath this, so come in wide and just thread everything round and under. That will bring that round there like so. And yep, that is moving. Perfect. And we're 97% full. So we need to deliver 41. No, we're not going to be able to fit that in this trailer, unfortunately. We might have been able to do it with the if we'd filled the first trailer up completely as well. But having not done that, it's going to be more than will fit in here. So we'll go tip this, and then we'll see how much we have left. And then we can go and just harvest as much as we need and finish this off and leave us with as many potatoes as we can to feed the pigs. My baler has finished work, and oh wow, there's a fair amount it's missed. Let's tuck that down. Hopefully that will get wrapping that bale. No, that bale has strangely sat in the wrong place. I have a use for it though, so let's oh wow, don't know what's gonna happen there. How have we ended up with a bale in the field over? What the heck? That is a grass bale. How have I ended up with 3 solid grass bales here? That is so weird. I think I know. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to sort this out later. And we're going to have to go and get a wrapper to fix those as well. That, though, is a job for tomorrow. Today, we're swiftly losing the light here because it is November and it's nearly 4:30. We are 92% complete. We need just 5,300 litres to complete this job. So what we'll do is, I don't think we've got another full harvester, or at least enough for a full trailer. We'll put 5,300 litres in the back trailer, get that so that we know we can go and drop that off up here, and then in the front trailer we'll put everything else so that we can take it all back to our farm. And I think that is going to be the best way for us to go here. And getting this to do an exact number of litres is quite a trick. I'm going to go up to about 5,100, I think. Oh, yeah. Let that finish off. Do I need any more? No, that's gone over. Okay. But not by much. That has really worked. So we'll bring our trailers in under the back. Don't empty any into there. Just 20 litres went into the front. That's fine. And there, the actual the overflow is really useful to us. Just want to see if that great demand is for anything we have. It isn't. Wow. Our silage, though, currently is worth... Our silage is currently, yeah, pretty much at best price. So we're probably going to end up selling that off next month. Let's just get this finished, though, first. And away we go. Everything's running. Right, I want to get this field knocked out and finished, and that will be us done for the day. And looks like we might get about 3,000 litres for ourselves off this. That is a really, really good amount to feed the pigs. It probably won't all go in, I think. I think the pigs probably... No, actually, the pigs should take all of this. They have quite a large feeding trough. So, yeah, this will all go into them. I need to check, actually. I think we might need to reserve a little bit of this for the rabbits, though. So, I'm going to tip that into there first. Lift the pick up. Get the unloading belt out. And load this all into the front trailer. Carefully back it around. There we are. Oh, that is a job well done. I'm really pleased with that. Let's just have a quick check of this field. What's the state of its growth? Other than a few really small patches at some of the ends, that is perfect. So we'll turn off our harvester, turn all the lights off on that. We've got a trailer at the back to go and empty. We've got... then we can drop that off actually up at the shop and drive this back to our farm. Well, we'll try in the rabbits first and then we'll try in the pigs. Bring it in to the sell point. Very important that we do the back one, as that has the stuff to actually deliver for the contract. And then once that's done, we will disconnect that rear trailer. We don't need it anymore. Contract finished. Disconnect the rear trailer. Right. Oh, minus £40 on the environmental score. Before we go and sell all of our silage bales, we really need to sort that environmental score problem out. Otherwise, we're going to get hit hard. Back home, and we need to tip this into the rabbits first. So bring this round. I think I can tip this in over this way. Got all the icons turned off at the moment because I've been having them turned off, partly because I actually like the look of everything a bit more, but partly because I've been having it that way for doing the mole play series. So let's put like half of these, or however much it'll take. Wow, they took a really decent amount there. They took more than half. Pigs take a little bit less, I think, though. So we're going to have to buy pig food and other bits and pieces, I think. We're going to have to get water, but we do have a pond there. So my hope is that the pond will take it. Let's back this up. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more potatoes. But as I said, we're going to put a garden in here. That will start sorting out some of our feeding issues. That is all good. Now that is empty. Let's head over to the contracts. We are completed. Wow, we did do the bigger one. I thought we'd done the smaller contract, but no, we did the bigger one. Smaller one is there any harvesting left? Yes, there is. Potatoes. Yeah, there's the small one there. And that's it. Wow, there is a massive sugar beet contract. But I don't really want to take that on at the moment. That would be doable. For now, though, we're going to leave this here. Let's complete the contract as I said I was going to do. So, collect that. Gives us a nice 5,923 in our pocket. We'll close everything out. We've got that complete mess of bales to sort next time. For some reason, our baler seemed to have got one of its bales stuck on the back. So I'll try and fix that and get things done well. For now, I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. Oh, we got some coffee on here. Bit late for that. I'm gonna go and have a nice hot drink, go to bed, and we'll pick up next time. So it's a slightly later start this morning, and going to jump into our Fendt tractor here. It's rather dark because it's December, and that means that we are well into winter. Baling these bales up this late in the year, it's actually something I don't like doing, but we should be able to clear this up fairly quickly today. It is going to be all about getting that sorted and getting all of those bales collected up. If you haven't seen it, I shared a video from FarmSim Guy about the gates on this map and how to edit them, or how to make an easy XML edit, opening them a bit further. And go and check that out. That is linked to in my community page. It's a fantastic video. It's really helpful for anybody trying to get in fields around this map. Look at these bales all over the place. I think something happened in that a bale didn't get properly wrapped and ended up just getting thrown out of the back of the baler, because it is just such a mess the hired worker made of this field. Part of the problem is, of course, when we first set it up, we set it up with the wrong width on our mower, and as a result, our central bits down this field got misaligned compared to where they were going later. So we've got that to sort out today. It shouldn't take me too long, I don't think, to go around this field and get the remains of these baled up. I just want to clear this all up so that we can get this fermenting as quickly as possible and get some money in. I'm not going to collect these bales up, though, until after we've moved our other ones, so that I don't mix everything up. So I think I've figured out what went wrong with the bale. This is not auto unloading anymore. Let's turn on the automatic unload, the automatic drop, and that then should straight away get any bales coming out the back here, dropping off the back. And I think that's what was wrong. That seems to have been what's happened, is the automatic drop somehow got turned off and it's just flung bales everywhere on these headlands. I'm really interested to see if we get more bales this time than we got last time. I don't know if we will though. There are lots of little patches of grass all over this field as well, just rows and bits where it's missed. I'm not sure there's much we can do about it. I don't think it will amount to an entire bale, and the whole point of getting the cosplay to run this field was so that we wouldn't end up having to do this, and that today was just going to be a purely selling day. That's definitely not happening. We are going to have to also lease a bale wrapper, because we've got a whole load of grass bales that are around about this field completely unwrapped, and if we don't get them wrapped, then they are never going to sell come probably about March. And speaking of selling, I want to see when the best price for silage is. So the best price for silage is actually January, is next month, but it's above best price right now and falling. I want to finish these last couple of bits then, and we need to go to load up the bales we have onto our trailer that's sitting down at the shop. Originally my plan was a telehandler. I think that's changed because somebody suggested something that is perfect. On here, there we go, last of this. Oh, and gonna give me almost, well, it's giving me a full bale just before I'm finishing. Back it up a little further, there we go, and done. And that's gonna drop that bale there. We've got a little bit left, but I don't think there's enough hanging around the rest of this field to get another full bale. So I'll grab this little patch and we'll head back up to the farm. Baler dropped off at the farm, and I brought my tractor down here to the shop because we got our bale trailer that we got at an absolute steal yesterday. That we're going to hook up to this and get home. We need to see, what's in the sales today. Oh, wow, there's a really good little John Deere in the sales. That's quite cool. That's a 610 series. So that's up to 185 horsepower, but we're not going to go with that. What I do want to go with, though, is something that, as I said, was suggested to me. We could actually go with a skid steer around here, and there are some brilliant skid steers, both base game and in the Kubota pack. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one has the additional weight on the back, but we've got this Massey Ferguson one. We can do, wow, we can put a front loader attachment on this. But we're going to go standard skid steer loader, Trelleborg tyres. I think the TH40 will go with the sun shield on it. So like that, I think is a great little thing. We can also get it in the Massey Ferguson red with the grey wheels. Oh, that looks really, really nice. That is going to cost us only 28,000. So we'll only need to borrow a little bit of money for that. Take us up to 30,000. So 30,596. That takes us up to 320,000 on our loan. So we do need to get that back down. And with the money borrowed, we can then get this set up here. The only thing left to do is to pick a Patron at random to put on the number plate. So let's go see who that is. And congratulations to Mark B747. Let's buy that. Yes, perfect. And I think we've got some nice Massey Ferguson tools to go with this as well, and a rear weight. So I do want to get the rear weight. I also want to get the bale spear. So we'll start with the bale spear. I'm going to get that in the black. So we'll buy that, yes. And we also want this additional rear weight. That will go in the red. And let's throw this up to 1650. It's 2,900. No, I can't afford that. going to have to be this until we actually finish. But yes, okay. Right, there we go. So here is our little skid steer loader that we're going to be using on the farm. Going to be a little bit cold in this weather. I think what we're going to do is set this on follow me, and hopefully that should be enough to get us back to the farm and start loading up some bales to get them sold. This little skid steer is really quite awesome. I love the fact that it's got a little beacon on the back of it as well. Much more interesting, I think, than trying to get a telehandler on this farm, especially the way that we are going to be running this farm in general. The other advantage of getting this has been that it is so much cheaper than getting a telehandler. Yes, a telehandler can probably reach a bit further. In fact, it definitely can reach a bit further, but we shouldn't have that issue. I don't think that that is a big concern for us at the moment. We only need to lift bales from this pile here onto our trailer. Try and get as straight a setup as possible. Need to be able to easily access this trailer. Once we get this first trailer sold, we'll be able to put the extra weight on the back of this, and that will then make a difference to this. We're just lifting on this side. Oh, wow. Everything's twisting. Yeah, there's a certain amount of instability to this at the moment. That means that actually loading up onto here is not working as well as I'd hoped. And, oh, that's a mess. Yeah, I think we're going to need to load up somewhere else, or just one bale at a time, because that does not seem to want to load into there very easily. I'm going to reposition the tractor and trailer here where it's a little bit flatter, hopefully. Do some of this in cab. We might be able to see a little bit better. What I don't think I'm going to be able to do is reach over to the other side with my skid steer. Don't think we can reach up the top, especially up the top on the other side. So I don't think that that's going to be a viable way to do things. We may have to bite the bullet and do a single row loading up for at least our first amount until we can figure out a better way to load all of these. In total, I think we might actually get 22 bales on this trailer loading up like this. That's fantastic. That is going to make a big difference. But yeah, it's going to leave us with 2 bales, which is actually not too bad. I was expecting much worse. And that means we should get this lot sold into trailers. Whether we can get these 2 trailers done today, I don't know. We've still got to wrap those bales on that field. So I'm very cautious of that. I don't mind actually selling some more of these off tomorrow, especially if next month is going to be the better month to sell them. Whoa, what is going on here? That's not good. That's not good at all. I think we're heading for a bale explosion. Okay, I've managed to stop them exploding. I ended up unwrapping a couple of the bales by mistake doing it. So I just want to get 2 last bales on here. We'll get those strapped down. Because this is the issue of using a trailer like this with these bales. And yeah, we've managed to get 22 bales onto this trailer. That is fantastic. Let's drop this down and go and sell these off. Best price for these right now is down at the biogas plant. I'm really hoping that the point here is high enough. Otherwise, we're going to have to get something for down here to empty these out on a regular basis. Right, let's undo a couple of straps. See if that makes a difference. Are any of these going to sell? Oh, no. Nope, none of that is going to sell like that. Let's head back down here to the shop. We're going to borrow a little bit of money. So I'm going to borrow another 10,000 like that. And then I'm going to come in here and lease. I think this class gets somebody else from the patron in order to put on the number plate. And selecting at random the J-Man. You have been selected. So J001 man is the number plate I'm going to put on this. And we are going to lease that for 3,200. So about the cost of a bale, but it'll save us having to back and forth with our skid steer. And then to go with that, I just want to grab a cheap bale spike. So we will lease one of those as well. And then, yeah, that will be perfect for just unloading stuff at the BGA. If we're going to be doing that a lot, it makes sense. And also, it's close enough to the shop that if we ever need to load up any pallets, we can just bring it back to here and get the pallets unloaded as well. So let's give it a try. We want to unstrap the first few of these. We should be able to reach up with this and onto there. Oh, no, backwards. In cab, not so easy for this. And if these don't go down the bottom, I don't know if we can reach up the top with this little front loader. No, I think this little front loader can't really reach up the top there like that. So down here and off. Yep, there goes one, there goes another. And ow! So we made 3,817, but lost 224 because of our environmental score. That is going to be a priority to get that increased before we do much more selling, because otherwise we are going to have a problem. Final 2 bales, so we'll get them onto the front here. We are up to 42,905. There we go, 46,500. Now, immediately, what I'm going to do is repay some of this. I want to get this back to 300,000. So we'll repay that, get ourselves back down to that. That leaves us with 16,500. Let's go park this over here and back up to the farm. I'd really like to get another load in today. But we also need to get those silage bales wrapped. So we might have to leave the trailer down here and get the bale wrapper, providing we still have enough daylight to go. Because at this time of year, the daylight disappears quickly. I'm hoping we're going to have an easier time loading up the second set. I think when I make the change for the gates on here, I'm going to get rid of this horse paddock as well. It is purely in my way. We're not going to have any horses on here, and so it needs to go. I might wait until version 1.1 of the map comes out, though, because I know that's being worked on. I don't really want to have to update it twice. Let's bring this back in here. See if we can load this up and hopefully not have the trailer move around so much. I think that was part of our problem last time. It's been a really dark day here on Court Farms. It is the cloud cover from this snowstorm that's just been kicking around all day. Hasn't settled, but it's just been a bit much to keep everything going with it. I've actually spiked that the wrong side, so we'll spike it the other side, like that. These single bales I'm taking and putting on the top row while we load up the bottom row with the doubles. And yeah, that should be fairly well done. This trailer has moved again. Yeah, look at that. It just shifts sideways as you're loading it. This is why I prefer a regular trailer to a dolly for this kind of job. I think we should sell all of this today, and then we can drop the trailer off at the shop and hire a bale wrapper, I think. Or we might bring this back up here, actually, and hire a bale wrapper next time so that we are ready with our next load of silage. And if we can keep this silage going around we are going to keep making money on the farm, and we'll get that loan down really quickly, and maybe even be able to buy an arable field to get us going. And of course, the animals. We need to get the animals going as fast as we can. It's got both very light and very dark at the same time, and the lightness is due to the fact that there's snow on the ground now. After all day, this snowstorm has finally managed to get some settling snow on the ground. But it is also dark because it is 10 to 5 in the evening in here, and is just, the sun has completely disappeared, and the cloud cover is blocking any nighttime light out at all that we might get from the moon or anything. But at 10 to 5, our last trip today down to the BGA was sell off the rest of these bales, and we'll have to pick up on the field next time. Can't even see the road here. And we will get then the remaining grass bales wrapped up, get all of the bales off the field back up to the farm, and go from there. There's not a lot of light down here at the BGA, which is not fantastic. I'm going to try and shed some light on the sell point, though, with the tractor. Yeah, like that. And then should be able to undo all of these. In fact, let's undo all of those at once. It hasn't exploded, which is a good start. We'll start this up. Get all of the work lights on this so that we have maximum viewability, and get this all unloaded and sold as quickly as we can. See how much we're going to make in total today. I don't mind if stuff falls off, because that will actually make it probably easier for us to load up in the first place. But we should be nearing 50,000, I think, with this lot. Last 2 bales for today, and as I'd hoped, it looks like, whoa, we're going to be over, well, no, we already are over 50,000. So these will take us up to about 53, 54,000, which is a fantastic place for us to be today. That I'm so very happy with. We are going to have a bit of leasing cost overnight, and a little bit of cost for the purchase of the land, well, for our loan. But overall, that is a really good day today. So I'm going to get this back up to the farm. Tomorrow, what we'll have to do is get a bale wrapper and get those last few grass bales wrapped, and get that field emptied. And we might start looking at maybe getting some of the animals now that we've got a bit of money in the bank. First up then today, we're headed down to the shop. We're going to get an early start on this bale wrapper and getting these bales cleared. I really want to get that grass field sorted today, because I don't want it hanging around when we are ready to cut it again in a couple of months. So in order to do that, we kind of want the cheapest wrapper I can get my hands on. Not that one, though. That's not going to be an easy one to use. That wheel is 27,000. That's 22. So we'll go with the Cavernaland. We are going to go without the bale on end turner. We'll go with the Cavernaland setup, and the foil color, we're going to go with... in fact, I think our bales on the farm are green. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. We are going to put the number plate for Dan on here. So that is VF01 DAN, because we're putting it on to our main tractor. Back only. Okay, and we will lease that. Yes. So that should now be sitting out here for us. This is only going to be used today. We're not going to need it hanging around, because normally our baler would do all this wrapping for us. It's just these ones that got thrown off the back of the baler when the courseplay hired worker was doing it a couple of days ago. So we'll get this back up to the farm and get these bales wrapped up quickly. We can then get our bale stacker. We want to bring that down here, empty the last couple of bales off that into the BGA, get those sold, and that should easily pay for what we've just done. And then we can get all of the bales off that field as well before turning and having a look at the animals and what we're going to get today as far as those go. This map is really gorgeous, especially in the snow. Just look at that view as we look out over these fields. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And the farmyard looks really amazing too. I'm blown away by how gorgeous this map is. For all my issues with some of the playability on it, it really is the best looking map out there. And I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to working around those places where I do have a problem. And I think as time goes, that will lessen the issues. Let's grab this. Yeah, these bales are flung everywhere. They really did get catapulted by the baler all over the place. So we've got, yeah, at least 2 down there. We've got some kicking around on this field. We have a few kicking around actually in the field. But there's a good half a dozen to a dozen bales here that have been flung well outside of the field and that we need to go round and get collected up. I've had a quick drive around the field and not found any more unwrapped bales. So let's get this back into the yard. I'm going to hold on to this wrapper for a little while just because I want to make sure there really aren't any unwrapped bales kicking around, because there's bound to be one that I've missed. What I'm going to do now, though, is go and hook up the bale stacker, and we'll use that. I need to use these sheds a little more that we've got around the back here. I'm going to put this in here for now. Oh, that's not going to reverse into the way I want it to. So bring it round the other way. And yeah, that will go much tighter into that shed. This is such a tight yard, and this is not the smallest of tractors. It's a good choice for the size of baler and everything that we're using, but as far as something that works around this farm, I don't think I'd want to go any bigger than this tractor around this farm. I think it would be a real struggle if I did that. Before we can start collecting up the bales that are on that field, we need to come down here and hook this up, get these 3 bales sold. They should be fairly easy. We should be able to go down to the shop and just sell them really quickly. All of these are silage bales, so that won't be a problem. The only problem I can see is getting this snaking around this corner here and into the gates of the BGA. We tend to catch long trailers on that. We're okay. We've managed to make it in. Right, and we'll just bring this round the... Okay, the arm is this side, so let's get past BGA, the unload point first, get the arm past it, and then the whole thing will unload. And if it fails, if we have an issue, then we can always put the front loader there in. Bales have reached the end, unload them, and yep, those are all sold. 3,568. Wow, that is much lower than we were getting yesterday, although those were also smaller bales. Now that's done, we're back down at the farm and down into our grass field, and we start collecting all these up. I have no idea how many bales we have here. We had 2 full trailers. Well, no, actually, yeah, 2 full trailers off here last time, pretty much. So this time, will we fill this up again a couple of times? And how much is it going to be worth to us? We could be up to 100,000 on the farm by the middle of the year, which would be absolutely perfect. We could go into a harvest with plenty of money for the farm to expand with, and that would be absolutely perfect. That is the whole plan here. Actually, is use this silage to give us a really good start, give us a fantastic boost for the first year, and then properly expand the farm in the second year. Just 2 more bales to get our first trailer done. And we still got a decent amount left on the field, actually. I think we were in this kind of position last time. I think we basically get 2 trailers worth off here each time. So fold that back up, out the field, and back up the top. Let's see if we can find somewhere better to stack these bales this time. I've had something of an epiphany. Why not just drop the bales off down at the BGA? We've had the snow melt. It's got warm enough for that to happen. But I might as well, yeah, just put the bales down here. There's plenty of storage space. We can come round here and just in a line down the side here, ready to go into the BGA and be sold. We can just drop the bales here. It's only going to be a couple of rows worth. So unload this here, like so. And that will mean that we just come down here, use the piece of kit we've already got down here, and sell them. It makes perfect sense. We don't then have to unload them just to reload them up again. And saves us a whole whack of time in the long run. Thanks to the mud, it hasn't taken very long to get all the snow off the tractor. And we're back down here. I don't know if this is going to be just another trailer full. If it's more than a trailer full, we will probably reserve any remaining ones to feed the cows with. That's a couple of bales for that would be very useful rather than having to buy any. I don't know how many there are left on here. We'll find out in a moment though. From the looks of it, I think it's going to be about 19 bales in total. So not another full trailer off here. And I think that's slightly down on what we had last time. Admittedly, we had 3 smaller bales. But yeah, I think that might be slightly down on what we had before. It would have been good had it been a whole number on the stack, but that's not the end of the world. I'm going to have to sort of maneuver around here to get these. But all good. That's 17 and 2 bales left. I can't see any more kicking around the field. So yeah, 19 in total. Not bad at all. That's a trailer and 80%. So 180% of what this trailer can hold. A decent amount of silage off here. And we, yeah, we'll be able to sell that in a couple of months and make a bunch more money. Back down to the BGA and sort of thread the needle in. Coming at this at an angle. Nice double gate that's easier to get into, if not perfect. And just swing this round here. I think I'm going to leave this trailer down here for now because we want to pick up an animal trailer next and start getting some animals in, I think. Although I could go back to the farm and go and sort the chickens and the rabbits first. We know we have enough feed straight off for the chickens. The rabbits I'm less sure about. They're a little bit more complicated. So I want to make sure that I have the feed right for them too. Let's unload this and pull forwards. Don't want it pushing back. Keep this as straight as I can. And off. Yeah, there we go. Now, some of these silage bales, I think, are further along than others. So this is 53%, 52, 95, yeah. So some of them are really far along. Some of them are sort of halfway. Some of them are really far along. And some of them are only just beginning. So what I'm going to have to watch out for is when this no longer reads grass at all and instead just reads purely silage, we can go with that. Something else to note is that we have a load of sorghum. And as many people pointed out in one of my earlier videos, sorghum can be used in the place of corn to feed the pigs. So at some point, we're going to have to go and get a bucket for our skid steer so that we can get some sorghum into the pigs as well. Although I think I'd prefer to use corn because sorghum is quite an expensive way of doing that. I still need to work out where the best place to park a load of my machinery is. These longer trailers really don't fit in this yard that well. Do we have a shed over there? Not really. Oh, we could put it in here. This, I think, actually is a silage clamp, isn't it? So my pickup can definitely go in there because we're never going to be using this silage clamp. Oh, I've just seen where the milk loading up is going to be. I do not want a dolly trailer to try and get my milk out of here when we start producing that, because that is just going to be absolute hell to back a dolly trailer into there all the time. This, though, will go into here quite nicely. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So with that parked in there and drop this off like so, we should be able to now get some chickens. And 50 pound a go. They are okay. Gestation is, wow, it's only 2,000. We can take 50 chickens on the farm. 2,750 for 50 chickens that are 6 months old. Yeah, I want to immediately buy 50 chickens. They might get through the feed a bit quicker, but also we should get a lot of eggs fairly quickly as well. I don't know where the eggs spawn around here. This is our workshop. Actually, this is where I should be parking my tractor. So, yeah, that works. We could actually put our equipment in there as well. Let's close this up. Right, so that's the chickens sorted. Let's head over here and have a look at the rabbits. So, baby rabbits. So, gestation period is 1 month. Puberty is 8 months. For £70, we can buy an adult rabbit. So, yeah, let's go with that. We can get 30 of those. Gestation is 1 month. We can probably start with just 10 rabbits and let them breed, I think. So, buy yes. Okay. So that's the rabbit sorted. And I just want to check what our rabbits eat. So they need grain. And they need grass, so they're good at the moment because they have some root crops. But yeah, they need both grain and grass. Our chickens are absolutely fine, although they have already eaten a whole load of feed. So yeah, we need to sort out the health of our rabbits. They need more grain. I wonder if we can put the sorghum in as that, because yeah, grain works there for the chickens as well. For the remaining animals, I want to save a bit of cash and transport them myself. So we're going to grab an animal transport trailer. Let's bring this round here then and pop into the shop. And looking at animal transport, we should have a couple of mods that would be perfect. So 8 cows, 12 pigs, 12 sheep for the VA8 for 16,000. Slightly more on the Johnstone and slightly less on the Joskin, I think. I think this is probably our best bet. So we will go with the BKT tires on this. And yeah, let's get to that. In fact, I'm not going to use it very often, so we might as well just lease it and save ourselves some cash. So we'll back this up to here and hook this on. And where is the animal market around here? So the animal dealer is up the top here by field 89. We'll pop up there and we'll start grabbing some animals. Hopefully we're going to have enough cash to actually get them all. Where is the loading point? There it is. So bring this round and load it up. And I don't know what we're going to get first. It's going to be interesting. I think probably pigs. We definitely have a load of feed for the pigs at the moment. We have nothing for the cows and the sheep. So cows. Oh, I think I'm going to go for the Holsteins on here as far as cows go. 12 months. Puberty is 18 months. So if we get 18-month-old cows, we will immediately start getting a whole load of milk from those. Pigs, I want to go for a... Before I've done a mix of pigs. Here, I want to go for a single breed. And I think I'm going to go for the Bentham on here. So let's start with those. Because as I said, we know we have the maximum. We know we can take a... we know we've got a load of feed for these. So buy that. Yes, that's going to be 5,000. That's not bad at all. I expected that to be actually far worse. We still got 42 grand, which means we should be able to, at the very least, maybe buy a couple of bales of hay at the end of the day to get both the cows and the sheep fed. I'm really hoping that 12 pigs aren't going to burn through the feed we have for them too fast. Bring this around to here. And back it up. Right, and then open the gate. Like so. And open the back. And then we should be able to unload all of our pigs. Here you go, little piggies. All 12 of you. Move into the husbandry. Yes. And we can take up to 70 in here. So that's good. That's really, really good. And look, there are our pigs. Feed-wise, they have very little food. And yeah, they need some more base food. So, wow, that is going to be quite a job to get them. And they need water. We're going to have to go and get a water trailer as well. Our second visit to the market. And we'll back this up. Get loaded up. This time, I think, with the sheep. So we could go with the land race, the Swiss Black, or the Welsh Mountain. Yeah, we're going to go with the Welsh Mountain sheep. 1,200 for a 30-month-old sheep. I think we want those ones. We will never reach a 30-month sheep otherwise. So let's buy as many of those as we can, which again is 12. So buy that. Yes. There we go. A trailer full of sheep. Let's get them back to our farm as well. And the sheep pen is right down round the back. So we'll bring this past the horse pen here and over to the side and unload the sheep into here. I don't know if this has got grazing. There certainly seems to be a grazing area on this field. Don't know if grazing is something you can build into a map or whether you require a mod for it. I need to go and have a look, because I know that there is a grazing mod, and if there is and it works on here, absolutely want to be using that. Right, let's get you lot out. So select that, all 12 of them, move to the husbandry. Yes. I don't think this pen is ever going to get full. They have a lot of way to go before that'll happen. And then finally, just one more trip for the cows. So swing round with this and get them loaded up. We're down to 27,000. So we're going to have to see how much money the cows are going to take out of us. But we are finding that the drop is happening fairly quick now. As I said, we're going to go with the Holsteins. 18 months. Puberty at 18 months. So, yeah, we need to get them already fully matured. And that's a little bit more costly. But only 12,400 for 8. So, yes to those. And then we're all good. So, we'll close up the back. Get these back up to the farm. And that is all of the animals purchased. And I think the unload point for the cows, is that here? Oh, did I need to come into my yard the other way round? What is this? This must be, yeah, this is the unload point for my cows. So I need to actually come around into the yard the other way round in order to get the trailer into the right position. So bring it back around through here. Chickens will get out the way. And back this up. Oh, and there's our egg point. That will be perfect. We can load stuff up. But we're going to have to get some more items for the little skid steer by the looks of things. Unload the cows, so all 8 of them, move them to the husbandry, and we're good. So there we are. Right, that means that we've got everything done for these. I need to get this parked up. Actually, let's park this up in that same place as we got our bale stacker. Nicely out of the way over here. And we can check on all of our animals and what we're going to need to get for all of them over the next few days. So the sheep, they need grass. The pigs, they have some food, but that's probably going to be all gone by today by the looks of things. So we're going to have to buy pig food. Chickens are good. Rabbits are okay. They could do some grain, so we should have some that we can put in there of that. They could also do some grass. And the cows, they really ideally need TMR. So we want to get a mixer if we can. So, yeah, there's the cows definitely, and the sheep and the rabbits could do with feeding. I'm just looking at this and going, can I go and get a couple of those silage bales? And we can give those to both the sheep and the rabbits. And in fact, the cows also take grass. So I might take my flatbed down to the BGA and just grab a couple of those bales back so that we're able to get some feed in with all of our animals today. I'm hoping that some of these bales won't have fully fermented yet. And we'll be able to get some mainly off the shorter stack. That would be good. We know that some of them were at 95%. And that is now silage. Yeah, all of the ones that went first day were silage. That's silage. That's fermenting. Oh, do we have anything in the end here then? That's fermenting. What's that one? That one's silage. That one is fermenting. Actually, what we can do is if I go, we'll do, oh, that's silage. That's silage. These all, oh yeah, I can't cut. Hang on. If you try and cut open a fermenting bale, it apparently turns to silage. Look at this. So this is fermenting. It instantly turns to silage. That is not good. That is not what we want to do. It looks like I'm going to have to go and buy some bales. Right, let's move this over to the shop. But yeah, if I try and cut those open and return them to being grass, they instantly turn to silage. So that is definitely a bug. Now, I don't think I can buy grass bales, can I? Hey, I can buy... Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to buy... Oh, this could get very expensive very quickly. We're going to buy a couple of these. So, a couple of hay bales. That should feed the cows. We also want to buy, where we got? So solid fertilizer. No. I want some, well, I want this, but this wheat. I want this for the, you know what? I'm going to try sorghum in with the rabbits and see if that works. What I do need is some pig feed because we are a long way from that. And I think a couple of big bags of that would be a good idea. I'm actually going to add a third hay bale as well. In fact, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a round bale. And this will be hopefully for the rabbits. So we'll buy that as well. I'm hoping they take hay and grass and not just grass. And then I also want for my skid steer... we need a decent sized bucket. So that's 1,400 liters. This one here, that's 1,284. And this one, 1,200. Oh, 2,000 liters. Perfect. And we'll get this in the black as well. And it's only 1,300. Yep, I want that. And I want some of the Massey Ferguson forks as well. The shop has very kindly loaded everything up for me except for the bales. We're going to use the little class for this though, and get those all loaded up. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the rabbits and the sheep are going to take some hay, because if they don't, we won't be able to do anything until we do a cut in sort of early March, I think it'll be. And we're just going to have to get some grass bales off that cut, which will be interesting because obviously I'll have to disable the wrapping on the baler when we do that. So that is all done. We'll park this off out the way down the side here. Yeah. And there we go. Yeah, slightly annoying I can't buy any grass bales, but we'll be all right. Let's head off. You never know, there might be one lurking down the hedgerows, maybe. I'm going to pull up outside the pig pen here. This will be the easiest place to unload all of this. I need to keep an eye out now for a mixing wagon, really. That way we'll be able to get the cows fed fairly easily. So we'll try feeding the hay to the rabbits first. See if that works. Into there with that. And then back round. I don't know how much sorghum I've got left. I need to have enough for both the rabbits and the pigs. So this should go in here, maybe? Let's see. Is that going in? No, they really don't take the hay. Yeah, it has to be actual grass and not hay the rabbits take. So we can put all of this hay in with the cows and that will feed them. But until springtime comes, doesn't look like we're going to be able to feed anything to our sheep. Cow feed in here. Will that work there? Let's back it out. Yeah, that's gone in. So that's where we feed the cows. I'll put the other 2 bales of hay in there. And yeah, we'll have to sort out grass for the rabbits and the sheep later. 2 more hay bales in there. That will keep our cows ticking over for a little while. We'll drop off our bale spike in the shed. So like that. And then I want to go and feed the pigs some pig food. So pick up the tines off the trailer. And I might be able to get both of these bags of pig food at the same time. Let's get that under there carefully. Okay, that's got one. Has that got both? No, these are actually fairly short. Oh, and that is at a heck of an angle. I'm glad I put the bigger tires on this, considering that we're going to be going through quite a bit of mud. This should keep, hopefully this should keep the pigs going for a little while. Oh, yeah, there we are. Surely they'll take more of this feed. There we are. It's because there was a pig in the way. So the pig's really still a long way off having lots of food. With that, I think a garden is going to be an absolute must in order for us to feed the pigs properly. Let's see if we can't fill our... Oh, does this not fill my bucket? Please fill my bucket. Nope. We can't fill the bucket from here by the looks of things. It's gonna need to be a trailer. So we're gonna need a... Oh, nope, we had something then. What was that? There we go. That we can fill there. Sorghum, it's only 1,384 litres, but this might be enough to feed our rabbits. We'll bring this round here, and will they take it? Let's find out. Oh, no, definitely not. Time to head back into the house. Very productive day. Quite happy with it. It's still dark at 5 p.m. So we'll do that. Unfortunately, yeah, light switch still doesn't work. So we're going to head upstairs. And yeah, that is it for the day. I'm very, very pleased. We've got all of our animals in. We've still got some work to do. We still need to get some water for them. So that's going to be a priority tomorrow. So in order to get the water tank, we're heading straight down to the shop this morning. It's going to be a fairly light day, I think, in terms of what we have to do around our own farm. There's not a huge amount we can do with our animals at the moment until we get a bit more money in. We've got a whole load of silage bales sitting down at the BGA that we're going to be able to sell, and that will bring in some extra cash for us to buy some extra animal feed. We are going to be able to cut our grass in a couple of days and get another batch of the silage in, but really it's going to be a case of getting a lot of contracting done, I think, over the next few days. We are very much a contracting farm, especially as the contracts don't pay massively well, and our main source of income is really that silage that we keep doing on a regular basis. So let's pop in the shop. Don't have a huge amount of money at the moment, so what I need to do is get a tank. I think most of my water tanks that I want to use on here are under miscellaneous. Although, surprisingly, we've got a couple of... So these ones would be really useful to us. They hold a lot of stuff. And that holds 2,000 litres. That holds 6,000. I'm going to grab the bigger one of these. And we'll set up... We've got a couple of options. We've got various designs on the side. We're going to be using this for water and milk, so I'm not going to put a specific design on the side. Standard capacity, because we don't want to be making it unreal. Main color, I think we probably want the standard setup on this. Match the number plate to our tractor. And yeah, that's pretty good. I think rim color I can change though. We can go with the chrome rims. And in fact, do we have chrome here as an option? I don't think we do. No, otherwise I would have gone chrome as the color for it as well. Design color. I don't know where this is used. On the hose. So I'm going to put the New Holland blue on the hose to give it an accent of color. Liking that a lot. So that's 10,000 in total. We're going to lease this for now. 510 should do nicely. So we'll reverse this up onto it and hook it up like that. And that will get us started today quite nicely. And I think we will be done with the animals maybe by 9:30 in an hour's time. In that case, we should then be able to crack on with a contract or two. And there's a couple of fairly decently paying cultivator contracts that I think we can take on. The pigs do take a huge amount of food. And I don't quite know. Well, no, I do know how we're going to do that. So what we're going to do with the pigs is we're going to go and get them. We're going to go and build a couple of gardens and feed them that way. Let's refill that. But until I get rid of the horse paddock, I can't really do that. They tend to be fairly flat that we need to place those. And yeah, the only flat area we've got that has that much available space is where the horse paddock is. So the sooner I can get rid of that, the better. Oh, wow, this is really tight around here. I think what I'm going to do is try and get myself around the end. I have noticed there's a gap in the fence at the bottom here. Our pigs could very easily run rampant around the farm if they chose to. I don't think... Oh, actually, I could plug that gap. I don't know how well a placeable would go there, but yeah, should be able to plug that gap. And at least our tractor as well can get all the way around this pond. How much are our pigs going to take? Are they going to take the rest of this? That is very, very possible. Yep, all of that water. Pigs take a lot of materials all the time. And we found this when we were doing them on Attingham Park. They take a couple of years really to get profitable as well. So I don't think we're going to see a huge amount of profit on the pigs on this series. Let's head back round though and see if we can get some more water. Best bet is probably going to be come in here and swing right around and then reverse down to where I want to get the water out at that bottom corner. Although not quite as extreme as that. There we are. Get it a little bit more of a straight back rather than a massive turn. Yeah, we have no issue filling up with water from here with this. This tractor's got more than enough pull to keep the trailer out of the pond. This is crazy, the pigs. If we have a look, so if we have a look at our other animals, our sheep are not being productive at all at the moment because we've got no food and no water to them. The chickens don't need water. The rabbits needed 1,500 litres. The cows, we'll find out, but even they have over 2 hay bales, a fair amount. The pigs just take a massive amount. It's absolutely crazy. So I'll put a second one of these in. I'll get 10,000 litres of water to the pigs. And then I think we're going to have to give a couple of these to... Well, no, in fact, the cows already have water. So it is just the sheep that we need to go and give probably a couple of these Bowsers to as well. So all good. We'll keep things running. I need to keep bringing in feed for the pigs though, and we need ways to feed them. Easiest way to do that is going to be to get the gardens, especially in the situation we're in. So finally down to the sheep, and yeah, we haven't touched on them much yet, partly because we can't really get anything done on them until the grass around here grows. I haven't had a look into whether there is a grazing mod that will work on these fields. Certainly the sheep area seems to have a well-defined space that would work with something like that. Can we get this round here to empty it? No. Where is my area to empty the water for the sheep. I'm going to go on the other side of this and just back it up here. It has just got 9:30, so I wasn't too far out. There we are. Yep. So that has got that done as well. And again, only 1,500 for the sheep. I'm going to stick the rest of this water in with the pigs. The pigs are going to be a fantastic dumping ground for any excess water that we're left over with from our animals, because they just take so much more than anyone else. We've got all these storage sheds out the back, so I'm just going to put the water trailer out here. It is so deep in mud. Oh, we haven't returned that. That is something I need to do. We do not need that bale wrapper, because of course we got it built into our baler, and we just got that to sort out the issue we had, where we had a whole load of unwrapped bales kicked out the back of the baler. So let's park this up here, drop that off, and then I'm just going to pop over here, and in the least stuff bale wrappers we will return that. Yes, make sure that's gone. And then I think it might be time to take on a cultivating contract and earn ourselves some extra cash. So I've lined up a couple of cultivating contracts that I think might be quite interesting for us. The ones that pay the best are Field 100 and Field 90. Both have decent sized cultivators. I think I'm going to take Field 100 and Field 90 and we'll borrow the equipment from Field 100 to do it. So we will borrow Field 100 and we will accept Field 90. So we need to do Field 90 first. And so we've got a nice Vulture N series. No, Q series. This is a nice Q series Vulture with a pretty big... what is this? Yeah, Cockling all-rounder cultivator. Liking this a lot. While we're down here at the shop, though, let's have a look on what's in the sales today. And, oh, yeah. Once again, Farm Sim's laughing at me. After we bought our little Massey Ferguson telehandler yesterday, we've got... Was it yesterday? It might be the day before. We now have a New Holland telehandler with the tracks on it available in here. It is about the same price as our skid steer is. Yeah, our skid steer is 21,000. We might get 25 if we brought it down to the shop. So that's amusing. Not gonna switch it out. Quite happy with my little Massey Ferguson. I think it's a good one to have. Let's get this all hooked up, though, and we can go and do Field 90 first. Looks like, wow, looks like our cultivator is stuck in the ground a little bit here. I reset the cultivator to get it out of the floor there down at the shop. And the reset point is back at the main farm. So I've had to come all the way back here, and... it actually resets right by the road here. I'm not completely sure where the entrances to these fields are. Field 90 is that one just over there. I've driven right round to the shop, and I think the far side of this field... Can I see? I think I saw... the far side of this grass field a gateway, or at least a fence. So I'm going to turn in here. Oh, I've definitely come at this in the wrong angle. Again, this gateway, if this gate opened further, I would be able to get this tractor and this cultivator in this gateway. That is really, really annoying. Because you can't do it from the other side. This is the thing. So So I can't do it from this side because this gate doesn't open far enough. Can't do it the other side because this railing's here. It's almost as if this railing's here to prevent you going in this gateway properly. I don't understand it. Yeah, look at that. There is just no way to get that in there without whacking that gate post. At least this gate post here, we should get a straight access to. Yeah. So this opens out towards us and we can get a straight route through. But don't make it through this time. That's me not positioning myself properly. So back up because, yep, that's exactly what I did. Bring it round and come at it from this way. And we can get straight through. So, yeah, no problem getting this through these gateways normally if you can get the right angle on it. So a massive great track going through this field. Yeah, it's weird, this field. This is really weird. So I am gonna unfold this and we will set up a GPS course, I think, going this way. So turn on the GPS and set my first waypoint. Down with my cultivator and then along here a little bit. Set my second waypoint, my width, and we're all good. I'm normally a fan of maps with tight gateways, tight lanes, needing small equipment, all that kind of thing. Really, really love a map like that normally. But normally you're able to get the equipment that you get on contracts and things into fields that that you're given the contracts for. And I think I'm on my 4th contract on here. Yeah, this is my 4th contract on here. I've had trouble getting the equipment given to me for the contracts into the fields on 3 of them. As in, there's no way to realistically get the contract given to me for those fields into those fields, which is odd. It's really, really odd. And a lot of it is the gates not opening far enough. I would have easily made it into several of those fields. I think probably 2 of the 3 that I've had trouble with, I would have made it into the fields without an issue had it been had the gates opened far enough. And I know that there's a very simple XML fix for it that I've actually shared via my community tab, which just opens the gates further. And in fact, no, I've done 5 contracts. This is my 5th contract. And yeah, 4 of them I've had trouble getting the gateway, and 3 of those would have been doable had the gates opened far enough. So I think I'd like to see that as an update on the map, is just the gates opening to maybe 130 degrees, just so you can thread the needle and get the equipment into the fields to do the jobs that the contracts are asking of you. I think I can see where I should have come into this field. Up that top corner there, that is where the roadway comes round. And yeah, we could have come in that top corner. That might have been slightly easier access than the grass field that I just came through. In fact, I think it's probably a straighter road. So yeah, we could have come in there. I'm betting actually it's probably an easier access after everything I've just said to come in that way. Is there a road down there to field 100? No. So field 100 is just the other side of this fence here. and we've got to go all the way around on the roadway to get to it. Not the end of the world, but an interesting setup nonetheless. I'm wondering, we bought the main farm, which cost us 309,000. Yeah, nearly $500,000 to get the 2 fields we've got. But we are currently over this way here. Yeah, we're looking at field 90. Now, there is a yard here. That would have been 218, so cheaper yard. And then the fields around here. Oh, wow. And with a massive grass field on it. And then something like this. Yeah, we could have probably got more farm for what we had with this. I don't know what animals are at that farm. But yeah, that might have been a better way to go. I wonder if that is going to be something we find. But actually, we want to switch farms and go somewhere else. Maybe we'll have a better time of it if we looked into that. I really like this field. This field is fantastic. It's the whole split down the middle. I could put 2 crops in here. It works really, really well from that point of view. We'll get this headland done now. And it seems to have fairly easy access up the top if we come in from the main road and from that farm up that way. It's 200,000, so it's not cheap, but it's not bad either. And yeah, if the farmyard, which it was cheaper, we might have the cash to buy it if we sold up. I am seriously considering doing that. I don't think, despite our lucky start at the beginning on our main farm, I don't think we've had that good a start on here. I think it's ended up costing a little bit more than I would have liked, I think, to get set up. And we have no arable set up on here at all at the moment. Maybe spreading things out a little bit and getting having somewhere like this for an arable setup as well would be good. So I think we're going to have a long, hard think about what we get on here, because I think we might just be better off moving farms. Let's redefine this for the second half of this field. So I want to be going down here like that. Stay nice and straight while we do this. There we go. Get our width right. And we're off. Yeah, I like this field. I like this field as somewhere with a lot of options. 2/3 of the way into this contract, and I am very much finding myself reevaluating everything I've done on here so far. I am wondering at this point if a fresh start is really going to be a good way to go. And just maybe looking at that farm at the top there would make a big difference to us. I don't think we're going to get much beyond this contract today, so I don't think we're going to hit field 100 for that contract. I think we'll end up probably trying to put this on a play course tomorrow to get that done and just earn us a little bit of extra money. We won't earn, well, we should earn a fair amount. I think we will go round a few hours based on that, but we will we'll still make a decent amount off that field, I think. But we might end up just completely switching farms and having a fresh start. What I want to do is go and have a look at that farm. We'll do that when we finish this contract and we're moving back. I think we'll have to borrow a load of money just to make sure that we can move all our animals and everything. Some of our animals wouldn't move with us because I don't think any farm on here has as many animals as we have up at the main farm. But we can go and have a look. We can go and have a look at the state of the grass field that's there, and maybe see if that would be a good place for us to relocate to. Certainly the farm is cheaper, and we could get at least this field, if not possibly another one, maybe the one at the bottom, field 48 down here. 3 fields would be absolutely brilliant. I'm coming up to the end of the field here, and we are only 92% complete. So I think we're going to have to do a whole load of the headland on it as well. Sometimes, especially on larger fields, headlands aren't required. But this field is not quite big enough for that, especially as it's got this massive split down the middle, which, as we know in the past, with other contracts can lead to you needing to do a little bit more of the field than you may have to do otherwise. Yeah, this big roadway through the middle is probably going to affect the outcome of this contract a bit. But we are 94% of the way through, so with any luck getting these headlands done, we'll get this contract complete, and I'll be very happy if that's the case. And there we go. That is the contract done. Just needed to run around the edges a little bit. It actually went really fast. It was at like 98%. I was waiting for a hit to 99, and it just went straight to 100. So we'll head back out of this, and I'm going to go and check this farmyard up here, and we'll redeem the contract after we have done that. And yeah, exactly what I thought. There's an easier route in and out of this field than I was doing earlier. It's still tight, but this must have an easier way of going. Oh, mud. One thing I do love on this map is the mud. The mud is just fantastic. Makes you slide, makes you get stuck, gives you a whole load more realism. What is getting stuck here? Oh, we're getting stuck on the fence. Yeah, everything is really tight, but at least you can get through it in places. I take back what I said earlier a little bit. This field did have an easier entrance, but you do need to be careful, especially on these bits. And yeah, there definitely seem to be bits in there just to make it harder to get in and out of fields. But if you thread the needle like that, you should be okay most of the time. It is just getting those gates to open a little bit wider, I think. So this is the farm I want to have a look at. Oh, actually, so what is this? This is home farm. Nice big double gates to drive into it. And I'm still taking this at too sharp an angle. I need to go out a little bit more. I'm driving this tractor in here. This, of course, isn't our tractor or our yard. Looks like, is that cows? So yeah, this is a cow farm by the looks of things. Nice accessible grain store. Big storage. Oh, and lots of field access and everything. So this out here, this is this a sheep field? No, this is the cow field. And then we've got a big grass field out the bottom here. I think this would be a much better setup for us on this map. I really do. Doesn't look like we've got any chickens, but I can remedy that. We can just place a chicken pen down. But I think I like this farmyard a lot more. Yep, I think we're going to be moving. I don't know what the house is like here, but I am much more interested in this yard than I am in my current one. So, yeah, I think that is probably going to be what we do. Before we go any further, let's redeem this contract. So, completed. And that's the bigger one as well. So, we'll collect field 90. That gives us an extra 6,300. And I'm going to park this up here for now, because I think we're going to have to borrow some money and maybe start looking at moving things across. What's the time? 4:45. You know what? I'm going to go and get started on field 100. And next time, absolutely, I think we're going to be looking at moving where our farm is and restarting, doing a little bit of a restart on this series. I think we will be much more at home farm. Think I saw the entrance over here. Yeah, we've got a nice big double gate here and then a single gate at the end. So we'll come into here. Oh wow, that is really rather deep. So much mud. It's incredible, the mud on here. Really adds to it as well. Struggling to get into fields with big patches of muds and things, I really love. What are the features on here that is absolutely cracking? This gate, we should be able to get through like that. And as I said, I think what we'll do is we will set course play to have a go on here. So course, we want a single tool. We want a couple of headlands, center first, sharp in the corners, and give me a fieldwork course. That actually is pretty good. I'm not a great one for doing contracts with courseplay. It ends up taking quite a while and can be quite costly as well if you're not careful. But this, I want to concentrate now on what we're looking at doing next time with that. With moving farms, I want to do a quick calculation, work out whether this is going to be worth us doing it, and if it is, then starting to get things set up. Yeah, we actually go nearest waypoint, start, and away it goes. So now that I've got this running, and we have a chance to pop around here. This is, yeah, so this is not as detailed a farmhouse as the one up at the main farm. That's not the end of the world. What is this a sheep field? Can we still have our sheep? I think we might be able to, you know. I think this is, yeah, this looks like a sheep field. So we can grab that as well and have that done there. We've got the main farmyard here. We've got a cow barn. The only thing we would really be giving up is the rabbits and the pigs. I'm not convinced by either of those, to be honest. I think we are much better off doing this here with a more limited set of animals and more space to work and more money overall, I think. So let's have a look at how much this farm would cost us. The main farm here, which is in farmland 133, that would be a 218,000. If we were then to add the sheep field, that's 290,000. We got a little bit of a field there. We can have a look at possibly this field here, 131. That would be 120,000. 134, which we just did, would be 264,000. 120,000 for 106. And 121. I am very tempted then with this to get us going to buy this bit here, 133. 108, so that we get the sheep field. I don't know what is in 107, but for 10,000, that's probably worth picking up. and then fields 106 and 136 as well. I think we'd have to borrow about 100,000 to do it, but I think that would be really good. And in fact, with selling our silage, that is going to be mitigated quite a bit as well. We're going to have to borrow some money to initially get set up, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I think home farm is going to be our future on here that will allow us to really thrive on this map. I think where we are now is restricting us a little bit too much. We're not really in a position where we can actually do anything that we want to. So, yeah, let's move farms and give ourselves a bit of a soft reboot as we go into spring and see where that takes us. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say...
Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.